Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network tonight. From Larry Mills Field at Bee Digger Stadium, it's the opener of the Brush Bee Digger home season as the Bee Diggers take on the Fort Morgan Mustangs along with Brian Nichol and Kevin Rohde, the birthday boy. I'm John Beltran, and all of a sudden, Brian, this turns into a game of urgency, I think especially for Fort Morgan, given the fact that they lost last week. And this schedule does not get any easier. In fact, it gets tougher.
Yeah, that's for sure. This is early on. This is a must-win game for the Mustangs. That's for sure. Looking down the road, they've got to go to number one team Roosevelt next week, and then to Pueblo County, and then to Frederick. They could, I don't want to be negative. They could start out 0-5. It's just the way that it's the truth of the thing. So, but they've got to find their running game here tonight if they want to make some progress here.
Well, let's face it, they're underdogs next week at Roosevelt. They're probably underdogs at Pueblo County. They're underdogs at Frederick. So they're going to have to win a game that you don't forecast them winning based on, even though we don't do spreads, because last week they were favored against Conifer. You figured they've never lost to Conifer. Well, they did in the playoffs in that one regular season game, but they were better than Conifer, and they played well enough, but just that one play got away from them. And Kevin, quite frankly, last week it was an excellent defensive game that Fort Morgan played. It was just one play that prevented them from getting the shutout. So if they can pick up where they left off last week, they should be in good shape.
Yeah, I think the Mustangs played a really good defensive game last week. They let Conifer score 7 points with 2 minutes left of the game. Held them to, 26 yards in the first half. It all comes down to mistakes and how you respond to it. Last year's team responded great against adversity, and this year so far, 0-1 against adversity. So we'll see how they do tonight. I expect both teams, knowing each other since Little League Baseball and Little League Football, all the way through junior high, these guys are going to come out here and want to put a lick on each other, and we'll see who gets the job done.
The opening kickoff tonight is brought to you by Buildings by Design. First impressions are important. Buildings by Design will make your vision a reality. Visit buildingsbydesign.com. The Bee Diggers in their maroon jerseys with the gold numerals and charcoal pants, a new combination for them, will receive. And the Mustangs in their road whites all the way across with the black numerals will be kicking off. But right now the special teams for Fort Morgan is on the sideline. And I'm not sure why, and here they come. And Brandon Marquez will kick it off for Fort Morgan. And if we get into a kicking game, we know Brush is a pretty good young kicker, but we know what Brandon Marquez can do, Brian.
Yeah, that's for sure. This is his second year kicking for the Mustangs as far as field goals and kicking off. Chase Redding did a nice job last week at the punt game also. So if it comes down to it, might be a game of field position where we can pin Brush deep if need be.
So Marquez to kick it off. Let's get a game time temperature here. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan. A couple of hours ago, we were about 93 degrees. We're at 86 degrees with a breeze in Brush. And you can certainly hear the breeze kicking up into our microphones. This could be a quick game, too.
Yeah.
If the running game gets going, because Brush can run, and Fort Morgan, obviously, their passing game is better than their running game based on what they demonstrated last week. And I'm sure Coach Rosenbrock wants to keep the ball on the ground, which was very successful in the opening half.
Yeah, I think last week, if I counted up my plays right, I think they ran the ball 31 times and threw it 8 last week against Wiggins. So they prefer to keep it on the ground. And Fort Morgan is going to have to find their running game if they want to keep the pressure off of Chase Romero on the backfield.
Are we waiting till we start at 7? Because it's not 7 yet, but no, actually it's the clock. They're having trouble putting 12 minutes on the clock. It's sitting at 17.6. This is not a good start to the home season. There we go. That took a while to get to 12. But you know what happens sometimes in the booth is that you change personnel sometimes. And maybe somebody new is operating the clock just to get it to 12, unless there was a functional or technical issue. Brandon Marquez to kick it off from the right hash mark. The Mustangs are the defending 3A state champions. The Beat Diggers, the defending 2A state runner-ups, but these rosters are vastly different. And Marquez runs towards the football, and that's end over end, high and fairly deep, fielded at the 10. It bounced off Sanchez. He picks it up, and then he breaks it of a tackle, and then he's going to be mauled at about the 15-yard line. And that's what happens. You don't field it cleanly, and you get met there.
He was lucky to hold on to that. Good job of bobbling it, but it took him about 4 seconds to finally get control, and then he got hit and went down pretty much right away.
Sanchez, only a freshman. The Beat Diggers had the ball at their own 17-yard line. Last week, Ty Griffith came out of the shotgun, and now he's going to be under center. Tanner Ludgate is the lead back for Fort Morgan. And this is a quarterback keeper right up the middle, and Griffith with a nice carry to the 22 on the quick snap.
Yeah, they saw something there to be able to control that line of scrimmage.
Tackle was made by the junior Oscar Ramirez, 2nd down and 5. I mean, that's a perfect play for Brush. They get 3 or 4 yards. They don't need game breakers here, even though Ludgate we know can break one, because he went for 30 yards on one carry and 45 on another. 2nd down and 5 to go from the 22. Man in motion to the right for Brush. Split backs. And there's the give right up the gut and close to a 1st down. And that is a quick hitter. That was Ty Griffith that time. So Nate Tyne was in his quarterback on that play. And another gain of 5. It's a 1st down. And again, nothing fancy here, gentlemen. Just snap it and just run it in between the tackles, Kevin.
That's right, a little smash mouth football. I'm going to run right at you and see if you can stop me.
1st down and 10 for the 27-yard line. Split backs once again. Man in motion to the left. Under center is Tyne. Handoff right up the gut, and Griffith is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. There's 2 or 3 Mustangs in on the play, including Colin Duckworth, who was a starter a year ago. No gain. Griffith with 3 carries for 10 yards. 2nd down. And 10 to go for the Beat Diggers. Already just, they've chewed up close to a minute and a half, and they would like to get a couple more 1st downs, even if they don't score. Again, shorten the game. Now out of the gun is Ty Griffith. 2nd down and 10 for the 32. Griffith is going to hand it off to Ludgate, running wide to the right, that is. Easy for me to say, and he's taken down. That W and the R snapped me in half there, tongue-wise, and he's thrown for a loss on that sweep. It's a loss all the way back to the 25.
This is the field position that Ty Davies was talking about, wanting to get Brush in, where they have to pass. You're not going to, hopefully get 12 yards on a running play. So we'll see how Fort Morgan's pass defense plays tonight.
3rd and 12 from the 25-yard line. Right hash mark. They reposition. And again, out of the gun. There's a quick pitch, and running left. That's going to be Ludgate hitting the corner. He's going to be down and around the line of scrimmage. That is tremendous defense. And that's Colin Duckworth again. He's picked up some speed since last year. He was pretty quick last year, even faster this year. And the Beat Diggers on a 4th and 12 will have to punt. And Tanner Ludgate with 2 carries for a negative 2 yards. Griffith had 3 carries for 10 yards. But the Beat Diggers are going to stick to their guns. And they'll stay on the ground as much as they can.
We'll see if they go back to running inside, because they had good success on 2 out of 3 inside plays, no success to the outside.
High snap, and the ball is over the head of Griffith. He picks it up at the 1-yard line. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he's going to be tackled back at the 5 on a high snap. And the Mustangs are in business at the 5-yard line on a high snap with 9.5 to go here in the opening quarter. And you think Fort Morgan here is going to run the football. There's no reason for them to pass. They're already in the red zone based on a special teams mistake. A huge mistake on that bad snap. The ball resting on the 5. David Keller is the setback. The quarterback is Chase Romero. Out of the pistol formation, 1st and goal at the 5. Here's the handoff to Keller, left side. He bounces off a tackle, and he's down at the 2-yard line. It's a gain of 3 for Keller. 2nd down and goal.
That was a nice off tackle. They ran a little more outside than they did against Conifer. And it's good to see that they're trying to stretch the field a little bit.
Ty Griffith made the play, but the B-Diggers can ill afford those type of mistakes on special teams. Heck, any team. Second down and goal from the 2-yard line along the left hash mark. Yeah, you got to believe they'll just give it to Keller again. Make it simple here for Fort Morgan on second down and goal. Romero waiting to snap. Keller to his right. Man in motion. Hand off to Keller right side. And he barrels into the end zone for a touchdown. 2 yards away for David Keller. And the Mustangs are in the lead 6-0 with 8:43 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Brush made the first mistake of the day, and Fort Morgan capitalized on that. And that's what you have to do as a football team, is capitalize on the other team's mistakes.
Yeah, you can't let an opportunity like that go to waste, and they didn't.
Now the extra point to be attempted here. Charlie Langford the hold. Brandon Marquez's kick is up, and it is right down the middle. The Mustangs get on the board first on a 2-yard touchdown run by David Keller on their first possession, a 5-yard drive. 8:43 to go first quarter. It's Fort Morgan 7, Brush nothing on your home of the 3A defending state champions, Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brian, let's recap the. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have to recap the drive. I mean, it was a
long one.
I think Kevin recapped it very nicely. First mistake of the night, and that was it, a 2-yard touchdown run by Keller. Just over 3 minutes into the game, Brandon Marquez with a high, deep kick along the sideline. And did that go out of bounds at the 1, or did it go into the end zone? Because that's a big difference with field position. And, yep, they're going to throw the flag. I think it went out of bounds just outside that pylon. And that's a big difference for the Mustangs on the defensive end and for the B-Diggers on the offensive end.
Yeah, I thought maybe they have one of the referees that would be closer down there in that position to be able to see that better, but nobody was down there. I guess the referee is in the end zone. So.
And on replay, it looks like it definitely was out of bounds when it crossed the line of goal.
First and 10 for the B-Diggers at their own 35-yard line. Kevin, you had your popcorn, didn't you?
I did not have my popcorn.
Did you want it from Chuck?
He'll be out by the time he gets up here.
Chuck, he's the birthday boy. Thank you, Chuck. The birthday boys, Kevin. Thank you to Chuck Miller there. And there's the loss there on the pitch there to Ty Griffith. And the Mustang defense is all over this Brush offense. The loss goes back to the 31-yard line, second down and 14. And we know that if Brush can't run the ball, Brian, this game is over.
Yeah, that's their bread and butter, that's for sure, that run play. And right now the Mustangs have figured that out. So we'll see if they try to sneak a pass in someplace and catch the Mustangs off guard or not.
Second down and 14 for the 31-yard line. The Mustangs with a 7-0 lead on an errant snap to the punter, Flores, and then Mustangs had a 5-yard drive, Keller from 2 yards away. Direct snap, running left is Griffith, swinging it to the outside, cuts it back to the middle, and he's going to lose another yard back to the 30. And Charlie Langford makes the tackle. They still, why do they have the rosters? 15 is Langford, even though they, and Paul Acosta is saying it correctly because Fort Morgan has not corrected their roster. They've got to do something about that.
And if they do, it'll surprise me. It seems like once they get it wrong, they never change it.
Yeah, that's right. Awful. Third down and 15. I mean, you're going to be misidentifying a player like I did last week for most of the game. Ty Griffith now with 5 carries for 6 yards. His first 2 carries went for 10. But now just losing yardage. Third down and 15, passing situation. Griffith out of the gun, back to throw, sets deep over the middle, wide open, and the pass is going to be caught. And now, I was going to say dropped, broken up. It was broken up at the last second, in and out of the hands of Hunter Proctor. Did Johnson break that up? Because he was around the football, but that would have been a completion of about 35 yards broken up by a Mustang defender. Proctor had it right in his hands. And those are balls you've got to pull in because the Beat Diggers' passing options are limited.
Yeah, and unbelievable that he was that wide open deep, and throwing into the wind was a little harder to get the ball there.
Well, Ty Griffith made a perfect throw, though. That's a great throw. That ball's got to be caught. Now awaiting the punt, and that's Griffith. I said Flores the last time, but it is Griffith standing at his own 17. Perfect snap. Gets it off. This is a short punt against the wind, and it bounces the 47 of Brush. It takes a side roll. It'll be down at the 47. The Mustangs with great field position. 6:45 to go in the opening quarter. It's Fort Morgan 7, Brush nothing, and a 2-yard touchdown run by David Keller. John Beltran with Brian Nickel. And are you ever too old to say birthday boy, or do you have to say man at this point?
Yeah, he's a kid. He's a kid at heart.
Well, there's no doubt, especially if you're eating popcorn. You know, I think that's, even though you can eat it at any age, but you start eating popcorn as a kid. It's not like other foods that you pick up as an adult.
That's true. And I still have all my teeth, so I'm doing good.
That's very good. Official spot will be the 48 Brush. Nearly midway through the opening quarter. Chase Romero with 2 receivers split to the right. Out of the pistol formation. Keller is right behind him on first down for the Brush 48. And there's a flag down handoff to Keller. He's stuffed in the backfield. Oh, man, a Beat Digger got through big time. That might have been on Taveros to throw him down for a loss of 1. I'm not sure that formation was legal. Now, Brian, do you take the penalty or the play? You got 2nd and 11 or 1st and 15?
I'd go 2nd and 11.
Yeah, but he said first down. I'd take.
He thought they're going to take it.
Well, Fort Morgan's passing game was decent last week. Not great, but it was decent. Well, you can't have 2nd and 15. Now he's got 2nd. You got to get 1st and 15. Now you got another. Boy, we're not off to a good start in Brush. 1st down and 15, not 2nd, as is indicated, at their own 47-yard line for the Mustangs. 2 receivers split each side, naked backfield, out of the shotgun. Chase Romero now looks over to the sideline along with his teammates for play instructions. Everything has 2nd and 15. That cannot be 2nd and 15. I don't know why people don't realize it. That's where you screw up things. There's the snap. Romero takes it himself right up the gut. He pinballs off a defender, and then he dives to about the 49 for a gain of 2. And now we have maybe another illegal formation as a flag is down. But you've got to get the down correct.
Yeah, now it's 2nd down.
Maybe not.
Looks like it's where holding is, so it might be a hold against.
Well, that's a quick hold.
Oh.
5 yards from the tackle. Down.
Well, I guess it's now 2nd down.
Should still be 1st down.
It should be, but they already screwed it up the last time. So 1st down, or 2nd down and 9 at the Beat Digger 47-yard line. I mean, you got all these officials, and that's the thing. Now on the Beat Digger sideline, they're wondering, hey, what's the down, the correct down, and now 2 officials are discussing it. I mean, you've got all those officials out there. They've got to know. You got one on the sideline, and you've got the board, and we're not even midway through the 1st quarter.
1st down.
Yeah.
All right, now it's 1st and 9. Well, that took a couple of plays to get that done. 1st and 9 for the Mustangs at the 47-yard line of Brush. 7-0 Fort Morgan. 2-yard touchdown run by David Keller and a 5-yard drive. 2 receivers out to the right. 4 yards behind center as Romero has the football. 2-step drop. Wide receiver screen is picked off at midfield. Along the left sideline is Tanner Ludgate. He is gone. It's a touchdown for the Beat Diggers. That's going to go 51 yards for Tanner Ludgate. That was the same pass Romero threw last week that was picked off by White of Conifer, and it's happened 2 games in a row. And the Beat Diggers are right back into the game with the defensive touchdown. It's 7-6, and what a huge mistake that was.
Yeah, it was just like you said, just like last week. That's just too far of a pass out there. They've got to go more downfield instead of out into the flat. He doesn't have enough on it, and they're reading that pass all the way.
Here's the question: is that pass even necessary?
Not on 1st and 9.
Well,
no.
Run the ball and then see. I mean, You know, that's, you can question that all you want. Now the extra point to be attempted by Eric Rico. That is up, and that one might be, just inside the left upright. It's good. 5:35 to go in the opening quarter. It's a brand new ball game. Brush 7, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brian, when you and I were on the air last week on 1010 KSIR, we mentioned at halftime it was a weird first half. I think it's weird again. You got a 5-yard drive for the Mustangs and then a 51-yard pick six there by Tanner Ludgate along the left sideline on the same exact play that burned Fort Morgan 8 nights ago.
Yeah, same play. They've got to disguise that more or get away from it until they absolutely need it. But they need to get Keyshawn Johnson, I believe is his name. They got the wind kind of at their back, and they need to get him going downfield. He's a excellent athlete. They need to get the ball in his hands.
Well, they're going to have to start operating the passing game in the middle of the field because that's the only way Brush can win. They've got to take advantage of Fort Morgan mistakes, and that was a heck of a defensive play, and that kickoff is a fluttering kick, and it's going to bounce and go into the end zone. Oh, Samson Ortega fields it at the goal line, loses it, picks it up, and then he's tackled. It should be tackled at the 1. That should not be a safety. He's tackled at the 1-yard line. Samson Ortega made a huge miscue there. He wasn't sure if to field it or not. It was about to bounce in the end zone. It stayed at the 1. He picked it up, and then he bobbled it, and then he got mauled by 2 beat diggers, and now the Mustangs, who had 5 yards to go in their opening drive, have got to go 99 if they're to score on their 3rd drive of the game.
Yeah, I thought it was headed into the end zone, and I think he did too, but that was a weird spiral on that kickoff, and it was just tough to try to control.
Very weird spiral. It's almost like it was remote controlled, you know, because
it bounced, then it went away from him, and then it looked like it was going in the end zone, then it kind of backed up. No,
yeah, that's not a safety. He was hit at the 1, and then his momentum
took him in. I think maybe the ball went into the end zone.
But even if he knocks the ball loose and he goes in the end zone, Brush is all arguing that happened. He recovered the ball. It's a touchback, and it goes to the 20. Because he didn't take the ball in, it was knocked in by action.
But I think
it's a touchback.
You're right. I think it's at the 1. Yeah, there's no such thing as a safety there. Not on a kickoff return. They're trying to determine not whether it's a safety or not. They're trying to determine whether it's at the 1 or it's at the 20, but it's clearly at the 1 because he picked it up at the 1.
Then control, steps on the line, bobbled it, but he was out of bounds on the half-yard line. First down, Fort Morgan.
All right, there you go. It's at the half-yard line for the Mustangs, which is generally the 1-yard line. First down and 10. Halfway into the end zone is Chase Romero. Keller to his right, now repositioned to his left. They got to get some blocking here because that Brush front 6 or 7 is good enough to force a safety. On first down, Romero takes it himself left side. He doesn't have much. I think he's barely out of the end zone. No gain. The beat diggers on the right side of their defensive line stacked them up.
Yeah, they're not getting any block up front whatsoever. No push at all.
Cale Stegner made the hit. I think they're going to have to loosen this defense with a pass. Well, clearly that interception by Ludgate, they took a look at Fort Morgan's film there.
Yeah.
And if you're going to throw that same pass, you've got to be deceptive as a quarterback, or you got to do something different. You just can't look that side. It was telegraphed. On second down and 10, there's the handoff to Keller, left side. And he is hit right at the goal line. He's barely out of the end zone again. No gain. Ty Griffith made the play. The Mustangs right now have a total of 4 carries for 5 yards. And the Beat Diggers have all the momentum, gentlemen, with 4:26 to go in the opening quarter.
And I think you have to be able to go under center and just sneak it and tell your lineman you need to get us a couple, 3 yards. If they would have done that, they would have had a little bit more time. But by the time you snap it back to the back, and then he's got to run 3 yards, you're in trouble.
Third down. Out of the gun. He takes it himself. It's going to be a safety. Hit in the end zone. Romero was hit about 1.5 yards behind the goal line. He is stacked up. And it's 9-7 Brush. A couple of beat diggers broke through to throw him down. What a tremendous play made by the beat diggers. So a safety. And it's now Brush 9, Fort Morgan 7. Wow, that was a big hit. Not sure if that was Kastrup in there for Brush. With 4:04 to go, I think it might have been, I think it might have been Caden Kastrup who just nailed him 2 yards behind the goal line. And what a play. The Bead Diggers now with the lead.
And they get the ball back.
Yeah, the Bead Diggers are going to have good field position because Fort Morgan either has to punt or kick off in their own 20.
Looks like they're going to punt. Looks like Chase Redding is out there.
And Brian's right. If Fort Morgan loses this game, the chances of starting off 0-5 are very real. Very real.
Well, if they play like this, the chances of 0-10 are possible. I mean, I know they got the 2 Denver schools, Kennedy and
Lincoln. You got Northfield too. Yeah, I mean, they'll get better. That coaching staff is way too solid to allow that to happen.
Yeah, they got to get work on that front line, though. They'll not go anywhere if they don't have that blocking up front.
Well, you have to call different plays. You can't call that play. You can't call that play. They call different plays there, but you can't run it. There's a beautiful spiraling punt by Redding, backing up as Sanchez at the 19, running to his left to the 25. Along the left sideline, there's going to be a hold or a block in the back. Out of bounds at the 42-yard line, a return of 23. But that one is coming back.
And number 41,
yeah, that was a beautiful punt.
First quarter tonight brought to you by Premier Farm Credit. For over 100 years, they've been providing affordable, reliable, and consistent credit. Visit PremierACA.com. So this will go against the Bead Diggers.
I think they called holding, I believe. So
that's what I saw initially. So that field position would look promising. It's not going to be as good as the field position when the ball was kicked out of bounds. They're not going to be at the 35. They'll be closer to the 30. They'll be at the 29.
Receiving team number 3, setting up penalty for the 5 foul. Result, first down.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 29-yard line. First and 10.
First and 10 at the 29. With the Bead Diggers leading 9-7. And they have turned it around. How have they done it? Defense. Under center is Tyne. He bobbles a snap. He's going to roll to his right, throw underneath. It's caught at about the 36-yard line. Ty Griffith, who could do everything, makes the catch.
They're throwing it as incomplete.
Incomplete? There's a flag, too.
Okay, they called it incomplete. Yeah, the flag is sitting at the 34. I thought he made the catch, but let's see what the flag's all about.
Looks like it's going to be against Brush. Illegal man downfield, maybe, or?
Well, that shouldn't happen. I know they don't throw a lot, but no, it's holding.
Number 35, setting up penalty from the previous spot if it was incomplete. First down.
It'll be first down. And with the ball at the 19-yard line, it'll be first down and 20.
And this game seems like one of those games where the last team to make a mistake loses.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It is in reverse order. We still have plenty of time to go in the first quarter, 3:34. We've had no flow to the game because of the miscues. Ty Griffith is now in the shotgun. Ludgate right next to him on first and 20 for the 19. Griffith to his left. He's got a seam to the outside of the 20. Griffith with speed to burn at the 30. A stiff arm to the 35. And a first down for Ty Griffith. Across the 40 to about the 43. Johnson makes the tackle, but there was a huge seam open on the left side. And it's a gain of 24 yards for Ty Griffith. And just like that, they pick up the yardage.
Yeah, the defensive end for Fort Morgan had been doing a good job being able to seal that off, and he got caught inside this time, and it was wide open out around the left end.
And I'm guessing if you look at the film, they didn't run that play last week. Every play was going to their power side, and Fort Morgan got sucked in on that one.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line. Griffith out of the gun, rolls to his right. He'll loft it, and it's going to be caught along the far sideline. A first down and tackle from behind. At about the 32-yard line is Hunter Proctor. And these Bead Diggers are putting together a very impressive offensive performance. It's a gain of 27 yards on the pass from Griffith to Proctor.
You can have a nice controlled passing game that's just as effective as a running game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're doing, and that's what Fort Morgan's going to have to do. They're going to have to use those 6, 7 yard little passes to get the ball downfield. But
Well, they've already traveled 41 yards on 2 plays, and that's with a 10-yard penalty. Out of the gun, 1st and 10 for the 30. Griffith off right tackle. He plunges into a Mustang defender and then extends the football for about another yard. He gets down to about the 27. It's a gain of 3. Well, they'll give him 4. Closer to the 26, we'll say 2nd down and a long 6, and the B-Diggers are playing the type of football they want to right now.
And Fort Morgan's going to have to figure it out pretty quick or it's going to be over.
Yep.
2nd down and 6.
We have 2:20 to go in the opening quarter. Brush leads 9-7. The Mustangs got on the board first, but the B-Diggers have come storming back all on defense, but now the offense is going. 2nd down and 6 to go for the Mustang 26-yard line. The backs are split. Tyna's under center. There's the counter handoff right side to Griffith. That's Ludgate. Check that. And he's got nothing. David Keller, the linebacker, makes the hit. No gain. 3rd down and 6. And we're now under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. And Ludgate has not gotten out of the backfield. He's got 3 carries for a -2 yards. And Griffith is back into the game. And Nate Tyne is out as they're rotating quarterbacks. So this makes it more difficult if you're the Mustangs to prepare for that Brush offense.
Yeah, they got some quality athletes there in that backfield, that's for sure, for the Beat Diggers.
Griffith under center, 3rd down and 6. Man in motion to the left at the 26. He rolls to his left. Flag is down. The pass is going to be, nope, they're going to call it a false start, no play. False start, no play. And had that play continued, Samson Ortega could have gone the distance.
Number 88.
Yeah, he had that pass figured out. But
Correction, that's number 80.
Javier Cordova moved a little bit too early. Now the B-Diggers face a 3rd down and 11. This is not a field goal situation for Rico. He's got a good leg, but not this good.
But they're in 4-down territory. If they don't make it, if they can get half of it, they'll feel good going for it on 4th down.
3rd down and 11.
3rd down and 11 to go at the 31-yard line of Fort Morgan. The B-Diggers lead by a pair and a touchdown, an extra point, and a safety. Out of the gun, Griffith runs wide to the left. He's got the 30-yard line, trying to hit the sideline to the 25, and he dives, and he's down at the 20. There's a late flag. There's a late flag. A gain of 9. Duckworth makes the tackle. This is going to be a hold against Brush, and that hold was downfield. That was unnecessary. If the B-Diggers don't hold on that play, it's probably a 4th down and maybe a yard to go, or perhaps a 1st down.
Yeah, pretty
but they
close.
held downfield, so this is going to come really right back almost to the original line of scrimmage as it is right now. So give Griffith 10 yards, and then the 10-yard penalty makes it 3rd and 11 again. Yeah, that's a huge miscue. You don't want to commit a holding penalty that late.
And the hold was in the middle of the field while the runner was on the sideline, so it had no impact on the play.
Yep.
Yeah, right now Cordova's having, I think they called it on him, I'm not sure. Or did they say 8?
I thought 80 is what they said.
Yeah, I heard
Javier
80 and then I
Cordova.
heard 8. I think they just,
Yeah, and 8 just came out and is
yeah,
getting near
well, that's Eicher, Wiley Eicher, if that's
Okay.
assuming these uniform numbers are correct, which I think they are now. 3rd down and 11 to go at the 31. Out of the gun, Griffith, deep drop, looking to throw. Here comes the pressure. He runs out of it. He's going to be sacked. A sack back at the 34. The Mustangs came through with tremendous pressure. And the first hit made by Aiden Derry, a senior. Oscar Ramirez around the football, a loss of 3. 4th down and 14. We're down to 55 seconds to go in the opening quarter. And the B-Diggers definitely will go for it.
That was a coverage sack. He couldn't find anybody downfield he wanted to go to.
Right.
And that time the Mustangs finally got some pressure on the quarterback that we haven't seen in the previous game and the first part of this.
On
game
4th
here.
and 14 for the Mustang 34, shotgun formation. Oh, there was movement there. Yeah, that's going to be a false start.
Penalty flag on the
That was on Hunter Proctor. He definitely moved as the inside receiver.
False start. Offense. Number 11. By their penalty.
I got to tell you, if I'm Coach Rosenbrock here, I punt this ball. Why are you going to go for it here on, you should punt the ball here. It's 4th and 19. Your chances of picking this up are minuscule. You back up Fort Morgan. They couldn't run the ball the last time. And I think they're going to let that first quarter clock expire if they're allowed to, or maybe call a timeout late in the first quarter. We'll see.
I think he was showing that got about 5 seconds. I think they got to run a play.
Well, I think the
thought that's
Bee
what
Diggers
they-
are going to use a timeout. There's no question. They will not take a delay. Well, they could take a delay of game penalty
Then
because
punt.
that just gives the punter a little bit more room as we're down to 5 seconds to go. And now we have a stoppage, but was there a timeout called?
No,
Now
he didn't throw his flag. Now he did.
Okay, that's going to be a delay of game. Yeah, Brush will definitely punt. I just don't see any other recourse.
Penalty flag on the play.
There should be 5 seconds on the clock. The way
Right.
the back judge has been.
Delay. Mustang, number 35, 5-yard penalty, 4th down. Okay, move it 5.
Okay, but they haven't run the 5-yard penalty. Okay, now they have.
Now they got to reset the clock.
Yeah, because the last time we saw clock management like this was a Fort Morgan playoff game at Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Not from the players, obviously, for the booth. Yeah, that ran way over. This has got to be a quick kick. I have to believe this is a quick kick because it's 4th down. 4th down and 23 to go. 0.6 of a second.
Timeout Mustangs.
All right, that is surprising. You're using a timeout.
Defense.
Well, you're defensively out of position with 2 guys deep. And so they run some sort of pass play over the middle. You know, they have a pretty good chance of getting it downfield.
This doesn't happen with a veteran squad.
No.
Coach Davies knows, you know what, I have an inexperienced team. I have to call a timeout here, and that's exactly why that timeout was called. He wants to make sure that all his ducks are in a row, so to speak, because you rarely take a timeout this late in any quarter, but he played it very intelligently. 0.6 of a second to go. It's 4th down and 23 to go for the Bee Diggers at the Mustang 44-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know who their leader really is out there on defense, but
Well, I would think the leader is David Keller.
he's just.
I mean, he's got the most experience, him and Duckworth.
I see he's over on the other side over there. Okay, he's out there on the left end.
And Ty Griffith is only about 6 or 7 yards behind center. Let's see if this is a quick kick on 4th and 23 from the 44. There's the snap. He's going to roll to his right, and this is a kick. And it's going to bounce to the 20-yard line of Fort Morgan, out of bounds at around the 14. That's the end of the opening quarter with a score. Brush 9, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran. Let's head to the second quarter. From Larry Mills Field at B. Digger Stadium, Brush leads Fort Morgan 9-7. The Mustangs got a 2-yard touchdown run from David Keller. And then the Bee Diggers a 51-yard interception return for a score from Tanner Ludgate, and then a safety as Chase Romero was tackled 2 yards into the end zone. The Mustangs have it on their own 15-yard line after a punt of 29 yards from Ty Griffith, who's played one heck of a game so far. Chase Romero in the pistol formation. On 1st and 10 for the 15. Keller's in the backfield, and the handoff to Keller, jitterbugging up the middle. He is stood up by Ontiveros, and then a couple of other Bee Diggers come in after a gain of about 2, maybe 3. But Dominic Ontiveros, he's tough to run through, even difficult to run around.
Now the clock didn't start it on that play.
Down by number 59, Conrad Castro. Correction, Caden Castro.
Gain of 3, but they got to get that clock. Are they not noticing the clock? I mean,
They are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they're working on.
Put the clock at 11:40 and start it.
there you go. Yeah, I had a feeling there was a new crew up there because it's 11:40, not 11:54.
11:40.
That's what he said.
Put the clock at
Well, because they calculated for the time that should have.
They only ran one play.
Right.
Oh, and then
but,
the time
but the
afterwards,
time
okay.
kept going, and that's why. Well, now it seems like they run 2 plays. On 2nd down and 7 from the 18. Play action, rolling right. The pass is incomplete over the head of Ramirez at about the 21-yard line. That's J.J. Marquez, the freshman.
Huh.
Now into the game at quarterback. I don't know if Romero's hurt or he's just replaced.
Yeah. Well, on that first down play, Brush only had 6 players up on the box. They were playing a 4-2, had 5 guys drop back on pass coverage, and they were still able to stuff the run. So now we pass, and they've got 5 guys dropping back. Fort Morgan's not going to have success passing or running in that situation.
3rd down and 7 to go from the 18-yard line. Man in motion to the right, and there's the give on the end around. The sweep to the outside. That's going to be a big-time loss. Maybe back to the 15-yard line. Was that Lopez? Let's see who carried the football. And there's a recovery. There's a recovery on a fumble along the far sideline near the Mustang bench. And that's going to be a 2nd turnover in the opening half. Was that 21, which I don't know if they have Lopez at 23. But I thought I saw a 21 out there.
21 is the freshman, Cade Underwood. I don't know if he'd be playing in that situation.
It's at the 16-yard line after a fumble recovery. So it's a loss of 2 on the carry. And now the Bee Diggers are knocking on the door. They're in the red zone, already up 9-7, 1 minute into the 2nd quarter. They have really responded to that first miscue of the game. Nate Tyne, the quarterback, under center. Handoff, Griffith, right side. He's got a nice hole across the 15 to the 12. It's a gain of 4. This is smash mouth football. And the sophomore, Noah Aguirre, made the tackle.
Yeah, Brush is doing pretty much what they want to on that run. They get, you get 4 yards a pop. They don't care if it takes them the whole quarter to get down the field. They're going to do it.
Time is not an issue. 2nd down and 6 to go for the Bee Diggers.
Chase Romero sitting on the sidelines over there, getting his ankle or something looked at.
On 2nd down and 6 for the 12-yard line. Under center is Tyne. He'll hand it off left side to Griffith. He slams into a defender, and he's down after a short gain. He got to the 11, and that's about it.
And number 55, Adolfo.
3rd down. And about 5 to go for the Bee Diggers at the 11-yard line after the gain of 1 from Griffith. We have under 10 minutes to go in the opening half. Brush leads 9-7, looking for more. And this is not necessarily a passing situation.
No,
5 yards to 2 plays, 3rd down. At the 11, Tyne is under center again. Tyne hands it off to Griffith, bounces it to the outside, cuts it back, and he's down across the 10 to about the 8. It's a gain of 3.
And number 25, Ashton Luke.
A couple of Mustangs in on the play. 4th down, and we got about, 2 yards to go?
Yep.
Approaching the 9-minute, 10-second mark of the opening half. Big play in this game. With a football resting at the 8-yard line. And now we have a stoppage, and the Bee Diggers have called a timeout. I think Coach Rosenbrock realizes this is a huge chance for his team in the game. They could really demoralize Fort Morgan with a touchdown. And you get the touchdown and the extra point, you're up 2 scores. I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but the Mustangs have shown almost no signs of life offensively.
Yeah, and I see their starting quarterback is sitting over on the bench over there. They're looking at I thought they were looking at a ankle maybe, or it's hard to tell, but he's sitting on the bench. So maybe J.J. Marquez is going to take him the rest of the way tonight.
Well, Marquez demonstrated a nice arm on that first throw, but it was clearly over Ramirez. Need a little bit more touch. So 4th down and 2 to go for Brush at the Mustang 8-yard line. They've been known, Brush, to do these little tight end dumps. And watch out for Cale Stegner. He could be featured on this play. On 4th down and 2, they're going to go out of the gun with Ty Griffith. Just over 9 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. On 4th down, direct snap to Griffith, running to his left, back to the middle. He's got a 1st down, and he is short of the end zone, but he's got a 1st down as he crosses the 5-yard line. Not sure where it's at, though.
It's like about just short of the 5, maybe.
Yeah, it was at the 8. It was at the 8. We'll give him a gain of 3, so he didn't get inside the 5.
Spotted, got the 5.5-yard line.
Yeah. He needed 2. He got about 2.5 or 3. I thought he got further than that, but nonetheless, it's a first down. And this is exactly what the Beet Diggers want, and they're utilizing clock as well. First and goal, just outside the 5-yard line. Ludgate is the back. They're in the shotgun again. With Ty Griffith awaiting the snap. Has the football, runs to his left, gets a block from Ludgate towards the pylon. He bounces off, and he's out of bounds. And it looks like he's out of bounds at the 2. Johnson ran him out of bounds. A gain of 3, and that's all they need. They don't need big yardage.
Yeah, I don't know who it was for the Mustangs over there. They made a nice hustle play and got him knocked out of bounds. I think it's just going to delay the inevitable.
Right. It's pretty hard to stop a team that's got Brush's running ability on 1st and 5 at the goal.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be either Ludgate or Ty Griffith. With just over 8 minutes remaining first half. The Beet Diggers up by 2, looking for more. On second down, direct snap, Griffith running wide to the right. He doesn't have much room, and he's taken down near the 10 by Langford.
Nice job there by that Mustang defense. They got that stretched out. Defensive end didn't get sucked in, stretched it out.
And Griffith came up limping just slightly. I'm sure he's going to be okay, but
That was his 14th carry of the game. I'm stunned Brush ran that play.
yeah, that play has not worked all game. Fort Morgan must have scouted that and
Right.
shipped a lot of
It
people
worked
over.
to the left, but not to the right. You're right, Kevin. But Kevin's never wrong on his birthday.
That's the joy of having a birthday once a year.
Third down and goal from the 8-yard line. Griffith out of the gun. Running back to his left is Ludgate. He fakes the handoff. He runs to his left. He's got room to the 5 towards the end zone. Griffith spins, and he is down at the goal line at about the 1 for a gain of 7, maybe 8, I should say. And it's 4th down and goal at the 1.
And the defensive end did a good job of setting the edge, but then as Griffith cut it outside, he looks like there's a little tug on him, but from here I can't see that.
1-yard line.
I think the play call here, under center, you go Griffith right up the middle.
Oh, yeah.
You get him under center.
Yeah, they haven't been able to stop him from 2 or 3 yards.
Well, Ludgate hasn't carried the ball much, and he has not carried it even for a yard in this game. But if Griffith gets not a direct snap, but an under center snap, now they're going to put him in the gun. And now, did we have a timeout?
Nope, got a
Flag.
flag.
Oh, man, that's a huge
Delay.
That's a delay of game against Brush.
Now they'll kick the field goal.
Well, Rico is in there. It would only be about a 23-yard field goal. Approaching the midway point of the second quarter. That's a huge stop by Fort Morgan without doing much.
Yeah.
Because now it would only be a 12-7 game. This is going to be a 23-yard field goal off the hold of Nate Tyne. Rico to attempt it. Left hash mark. There's the snap. The kick is up. And that kick is off to the left. He missed it. He missed the
But
field
there's a
goal.
penalty.
And now what do we have?
There's a penalty flag on the play.
Oh, that would be a huge mistake by the Mustangs. They've already got 2 turnovers. If they rough the kicker, this is going to be extended. And yes, that's going to be against Fort Morgan. Let's get the official
So is it an automatic
call.
first down, or is
Well,
it
let's find
an
out.
issue?
I mean, the rules in high school are different than the upper levels. And let's see what the call is.
He's taking his time.
First of
Well,
defense. Roughing the kicker. Action gets the goal. Automatic. First
It'll be at the 3. It should be at the 3.
I was watching the ball. I didn't even see him.
Here's what I don't understand with Fort Morgan. 2 plays in a row. They tried to block an extra point last week, and they got penalized on an extra point. All that is a little bit longer extra point.
yeah. And he wasn't even close to getting to the ball.
I mean, Fort Morgan is going to start giving it away.
Yeah. Well, I just did there.
Now it should be at the 3, not at the 5. Half the distance. That ball was at the 6. But I don't know. Maybe their math is different.
That correction on the spot ball spotted at the 5-yard line.
Well, it'll be at the 5. First and goal for the Bee Diggers. 6:08 to go in the second quarter after the roughing the kicker. The backs are split. Tyne is going to hand it off right up the gut. And that's a gain of about 1, maybe 2. Ludgate is wrapped up. Well, he's down. He might have got more than 2.
About the 2-yard line.
Yeah, 2.5.
And number 41, Noah.
We'll give him 2 yards for Ludgate. Ludgate has 4 carries for no yards. Second down and goal from the 3-yard line. Fort Morgan's going to have to pull off a magic trick because the Bee Diggers have capitalized defensively. Now try to do it offensively. Quarterback sneak by Griffith, and he is just shy of the goal line.
He dropped to a knee before he bobbled the ball.
Oh, he
dropped
did.
To a knee.
You're right. No gain. He did get to the 1, but that was after the knee went down, so it's no gain for Griffith. I think he rushed it.
Can you say this is a comedy of errors?
Well, what we clearly have here are 2 inexperienced offenses. Griffith is not inexperienced, but he's doing a lot more this year as a senior than he did as a junior because there was a lot more talent around him. And it's only week number 2, so these offenses will get better. Third down and goal. From the 3, under center is Griffith. Ludgate in the backfield. Griffith, quarterback keeper, right up the middle. He dives, and I think he's in. Yes, he plunges into the end zone. Ty Griffith from 3 yards away, right up the gut. And the Bee Diggers lead 15-7. Gentlemen, is there any simpler football than that?
Nope, that's what they should have done earlier, but yeah, straight ahead, smash mouth football is all that is, and they're controlling the line of scrimmage, so we only got 3 yards to go. It's
Rico to attempt the extra point off the hold of Nathan. Low snap, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:34 to go. In the second quarter, the Bee Diggers have scored 16 unanswered points. It's Brush 16, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brian, can you recap that drive because it was so weird? Again, weird being the formative word that I think a lot of people forgot because there were penalties in there, and then there was the roughing the kicker.
They got the ball at the Mustang 16-yard line. It took 7 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock.
I'm sorry? You're not pulling my leg here?
No, they got that ball with 11:04 left. They took 7 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock to go 16 yards in 10 plays.
What did you say? They don't care how long it takes. In fact, they want it to take longer.
I couldn't believe it myself. Of course, I believe everything I write down. So, yeah, that's crazy. But how many penalties did you have? So
yeah, no, way too many. They'll kick it off from the 40-yard line. The Bee Diggers now lead 16-7. And Eric Rico to kick it off. And these Bee Digger fans have got to be happy. This team did not look good in the first few minutes, and now they've come out on fire. That's a high, short kick. It'll bounce at the 23, fielded at the 20 to the 25-yard line. There's a seam up the middle. That might be Keller, and he spins across the 35 to the 40-yard line. David Keller with a return of 20. That might be the best offensive play, and it's on special teams.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the halftime stats are for total offense and for both teams, and then the total number of yards penalized, because it's probably going to be about close.
So Brian was not, this was not a bit. Brian's got a great sense of humor. It took 7 minutes to go 16 yards.
yeah, that's nuts.
It doesn't seem possible. It does not seem possible. J.J. Marquez, the quarterback, in for we believe, the injured Chase Romero. First and 10 at the 40. He was in there already. This is not his first stint. He was in there on the previous drive. Man in motion to the left. That is Noah Aguirre, 4 yards behind center. Marquez gets a block from behind, and then, or from in front of him, I should say, and then he gets to the 44. Yeah, you don't want to block from behind. A gain of 4 before the tackle was made. 2nd down and 6 to go. And if anything, getting a freshman in there has got to be exciting for the Mustang program.
It's time to start learning. If he learns there, Brush just got done last year with a 4-year starter, so they can talk about that experience.
Yeah.
2nd down and 6 to go at the 44. Out of the gun, the running back is to the left of the quarterback. Marquez back to throw, looks, lofts it deep up the left side. That's incomplete. Johnson, the intended receiver, but he was pretty much double teamed because the Brush safety went over to cover at about the 32-yard line. Hunter Proctor with excellent coverage on Kayshawn Johnson, who had 6 catches last week, 5 or 6 for about 85 yards.
Yeah, they're trying to do too much here. They just need some controlled, short yardage passes, 5, 6, 7 yard outs, ins, whatever, and not try the home run ball. They've got to get that short game established to break up that pass rush.
It's not 16-7 with 3:43 to go in the game. This is only the 2nd quarter. That's kind of the play they ran. 3rd down and 6 from the 44. Marquez rolls to his right. Pressure coming. Stops. He's going to be taken down. It's a big-time sack. And it's a loss of about 10 yards. Too many B-diggers in there to bring Marquez down at about the 33. Dylan Snelling was one of the B-diggers in on the play. And it's 4th down and 17. And the Mustangs will have to punt. And Brush right now looks unstoppable on the defensive side. Again, they don't need much offensively, but all that offensive momentum, the little they got, was established by the defense, and Mustang mistakes. Heavy pressure, and it's nearly blocked. And an excellent punt by Redding. Bounces at the 40, takes a huge Fort Morgan roll, and it's down at the 28-yard line. It's an excellent punt.
Down by number 15, Adam Montez.
Punt of about
Going to be spotted at the
nearly 40 yards.
That's one bright spot for Fort Morgan is their kicking game. The kicking game and special teams are doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's their best. I wouldn't say offense.
Right.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. There's no doubt that Brush is going to take this into the locker room. They do not want Fort Morgan to touch the football. The biggest mistake that Brush could make here is to throw the football.
Oh, yeah.
Fort Morgan has already taken a timeout. If they pick up 1 first down, I think they take it into the locker room. And remember, the B-Diggers get the second half kickoff. 1st and 10 at the 28. Nate Tyne is under center. Tyne is going to hand it off on the counter, running left with a little hole near the sideline is Cox, and he's thrown down. There's going to be a late flag.
Levi Cox, the ball carrier, by number 33, Aiden Derry.
Looked like Derry made the tackle. It's a gain of 1. They'll give him to the 29-yard line. Well, and let's see if the Mustangs decline it so they save a timeout. No, I think they're going to take the penalty. But they could save a timeout and give themselves time on offense. But I think the thing they want to do is get better field position, which is why they're taking the penalty.
Offense, number 80. 10 yards to the spot. We'll come to the end of the run.
It doesn't matter anyway because the clock's going to restart. So that's the right play. It's going to be 1st down and 19 with the ball resting at the 19-yard line. They've got to get to the 38. And the clock has restarted at 2:53 to go, 2nd quarter. Brush 16, Fort Morgan 7. Under center is Tyne. Hands it off to Griffith. Griffith does not get out of the backfield. He is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage at about the 17-yard line. Wow, that's a big-time play. That is not only Keller, but that's Colin Duckworth to make the hit. It's a loss of 2 yards, and Ty Griffith has got to be worn out. Ty Griffith has carried the ball 18 times in the opening half for 60 yards, 18 for 60.
They keep substituting in other blocking backs for him, but they don't substitute anyone in for him.
Well, he's the best player on the team, and that's probably why. 2nd down, and we'll call it about 21 to go at the 17. Rolling right as Griffith throws underneath. The pass is incomplete. intended for Proctor along the sideline at the 19. And the Mustangs should get great field position if they just play straight-up defense.
Yeah, that was Brush helping out Fort Morgan there without making them have to call a timeout.
Only the third pass thrown by Brush. They threw 3 last week against Wiggins and completed 1. However, here's the shock. The Mustangs have thrown just 3 passes, and they've completed none. Brush is actually 1 out of 3 for 27 yards. So it's 3rd down and 21 to go from the 17. A minute 55 to go in the second. Tyne is under center. Tyne will hand it off left side and a short gain to the 19, a gain of 2. And the ball carrier, that was Snelling. Snelling was the ball carrier, his first carry of the game.
They've called timeout, and the clock continues to run.
Timeout.
Well, then they called timeout 15 seconds after the play, so it would have ran
Yeah,
off.
that should be a minute 40 or something on there.
I mean, there's got to be a new clock. The clock operation in Brush is usually very good. Tonight it's been pretty bad. It's been pretty bad because seconds have rolled off, and I get it. You have somebody, but there has to be, you have to have 2 people working in there, and I don't know if that's the case because that's one of the most important components of the game is the clock. I'm going to say it right now, it's not an easy job. So if you have somebody new doing that job, you better have somebody right next to them because you can't have a rookie do that without somebody experienced right next to him.
No, and if you got somebody in as a rookie, and I would say if you have junior varsity games that you have a clock, you have them there running that clock for a junior varsity and get them used to it a little bit.
Yeah, because we should have about a minute 35, minute 36, not a minute 29. Johnson is back deep to receive for the Mustangs. Ty Griffith to punt. Yeah, they're not going to. Well, that's what Ty Davies is saying. You got to add time to the clock.
Yeah, because as soon as that play was over, they were out there calling timeout.
Yeah, there should be at least 7 or 8 more seconds. But if the officials aren't noticing it, and it's only coming from the sideline, then they're not going to do anything about it, and then it's just going to delay it. There you go, 136. An extra 7 seconds. That's good officiating, and that's good coaching, because if Ty Davies didn't say anything, we'd still be at 129.
Now they're at 14 minutes.
Oh, boy. Wow. Anyway.
There we go.
There we go.
The Bay Diggers with a lead, 16-7. And Ty Griffith back at his own 5-yard line. Perfect snap. Here comes the rush. Gets it off. And that's a fluttering punt towards the Bay Diggers sideline. And Johnson picks it up on a short hop at the 45. Breaks a tackle. Tries to break another tackle. And he's down at the 45. Oh, that's an excellent play made by Levi Cox. Cox made a great open field tackle. A minute 24 to go. Before the break, the Mustangs now looking to get to within 1 score. As this second quarter brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. One-stop shopping does exist. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. Get it off I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins to visit them. Stubbs Gas and Oil. The Mustangs have generated. Anybody want to guess how many yards of offense they have?
Mustangs?
Yeah, Fort Morgan.
22.
10 yards of offense in the opening half. 1st and 10 from the 45. J.J. Marquez, 5 yards behind center. Back to throw, looks middle, steps up, throws over the middle, intercepted at the 28-yard line. Along the Brush sideline to the 45, and down at the 48-yard line, a return of 20. And that is picked off by Luke Ferguson. 3rd turnover by the Mustangs as Ferguson picks it off.
He was late on the pass. I was looking downfield a little bit, and the guy had broken open 5 seconds before that, and he just waited way too long to throw.
But that's what happens with a freshman. I mean, it's just an experience.
I understand.
He throws a nice ball, but you're right. Yeah. Brian's right on Kevin's birthday.
Hey.
That's amazing. The only one who's wrong is the one talking right now. Anyway, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
But he keeps talking. Oh, no.
Sorry, Brian.
Stop wrestling
That was
over
great.
there.
That was great. No, that was my fault. 1st and 10. Direct snap. Back to throw is Griffith. Deep over the middle. Wide open is Proctor. And it's off his right head, incomplete at the 27. He was by himself. He was by himself. Oh, it looked like the Maris couple out of Brush was smelling a 52-yard touchdown.
We got a penalty.
And there is a flag down. Oh, man, that would have gone the distance. Proctor was not open.
Possibly
Proctor was
unsportsmanlike.
wide open. Let's hope this is not against Fort Morgan. He was really open there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they grabbed somebody as he was going by, or we'll find out here shortly.
Well, this would be a post-play penalty. I mean, Ty Griffith does not have a smooth throwing motion, but I thought he put enough air under that, but he actually needed more.
Defense, number 57, 15-yard penalty.
Unsportsmanlike against the Mustangs. And remember, you get 2 unsportsmanlike conducts, you're ejected.
Christian Velasquez, 67, is that what he said?
Yep. Yeah, they announced the player. They make you accountable. Now Velasquez is sprinting off the field.
But the throw was thrown by the back judge deep in the secondary. Why would 67 have been downfield anyway?
I don't know what's...
He may have been mistakenly blamed for that. I don't know.
1st and 10 for the Bee Diggers at the 38-yard line of Fort Morgan. We have 1:07 to go. Second quarter, the Bee Diggers lead 60-7 with 2 timeouts remaining for Brush. They've got plenty of time, but they're going to have to pass it. They're not going to run this thing in. Shotgun formation. Griffith, he fakes the handoff, runs to his left, breaks out of a tackle, and then he's dragged down by the jersey at the 35 for a gain of a couple. Give him 3. Colin Duckworth has made a lot of plays in this game, makes another on Ty Griffith's 19 carry of the game. Oh, man, they advanced that football to the 34. I thought his knee was down.
They're calling timeout and the clock's still running. Oh, my gosh.
I mean, are they not looking at the officials? You got to look at the officials. Well, and if Brush doesn't pick up on that.
I thought that was like a hometown thing. If your hometown
No. This has nothing. Sometimes it is, but not in this case.
Only at Roosevelt. Or excuse me, I didn't say that.
No, I wasn't saying that he was doing it for the home team. I'm saying if the home team clock operator messes up, then the home team just suffers. They shouldn't get to reset the clock. No, that's not fair either.
Kevin,
they're going to add a couple seconds for him.
Kevin, please don't go overboard on your birthday.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Age
we're celebrating you today. Now you're getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, we love you, but now you want everything.
Right.
You know what Kevin wants, Brian?
He wants his cake and eat it too.
Thank you very much. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. I'm telling you. That's why when Kevin's unavailable to do games, Brian and I just pick up where we left off in the previous game.
That's right.
If Kevin's unavailable because we've read this script before. All right, 2nd down for the Bee Diggers at the 34-yard line. Now they did add time, 52 seconds to go. Griffith heaves it up the right side. Wide open is Stegner, and he catches the ball at the 8-yard line. He's down at the 5. It's a gain of 29. The Mustangs are falling asleep defensively.
Yeah, I don't know what.
It turned into a jump ball because it was underthrown. Now lining up on the right hash mark, and the clock is running. We have about 35 seconds to go. Plenty of time, though.
No, they moved.
And there was movement.
Penalty flag on the play.
I think they're just rushing things.
False start. Offset.
Well, keep in mind the clock will restart. So they've got to be, this clock does not automatically stop.
Please reset the clock to 37 seconds.
37. And then they should run the clock here. They should run clock.
Yeah.
They're going to run clock. There you go. It's at third. They did reset it to 37.
Timeout. Brush.
And Brush has called a timeout with 34 to go.
Correction. Timeout is by Fort Morgan. That is the third of the half.
All right, so the Mustangs call a timeout with 34 seconds to go, and the B-Diggers looking to add to a 16-7 lead. I thought this would be a short game. This is going to be a long game time-wise. This is Morgan County's B106, KPRB, Brush Fort Morgan. John Beltran along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. And after a 2-yard touchdown run by David Keller on a Brush special teams mistake, the B-Diggers came back, a 51-yard interception return by Tanner Ludgate. And then it looked like Caden Castrop got Chase Romero in the end zone for a safety. Then a touchdown run from 3 yards away from Griffith. You got to be ready for anything here. If you go down 3 scores if you're Brush, well, it wouldn't be 3 unless, even if they kick an extra point, 23-7. But it'd be 2 scores with 2 extra points. Out of the gun. They're at the 10-yard line. And this is Griffith himself for a yard. Running off right tackle. There's a timeout now by Brush. Keller makes the tackle. That is carry number 20 by Griffith.
That is Brush's final timeout.
And the B-Diggers have no more timeouts.
If they run, it'll probably be the last play.
Well, they could run it, but they have to get the field goal team out there pretty quick. And they just missed a field goal from 23 yards away earlier. Even though the distance was not an issue, it was hooked to the left.
And it's second down. If they come up short, they could actually clock it and then get the field goal team
They
out
gained
there.
a yard. It was 1 yard. 65 yards on 20 carries for Ty Griffith. And he's out of the shotgun again. With a running back to his left. On second down, Griffith looks to throw in the pocket, into the end zone. The ball is incomplete. A diving attempt. No, there's no way that ball was caught. Looked like a trap out there.
Yeah, the Brush booster on the end zone.
Yeah,
is the only
Proctor
guy-
was the intended receiver, but that ball hit the ground well before he got to it. It's third down. Should be third down with 17.2 seconds to go from the 9-yard line. Third and goal.
Mustangs put a little bit of pressure on him and got a good hit on him as he let go of that ball.
They come in with play instructions. And again, Brush has no timeouts. You're going to have to do something special here if you're Brush. On third and goal from the 8-yard line with 17.2 seconds to go, holding a 9-point lead. Griffith out of the gun. Griffith back to throw, looks, throws it into the end zone towards the pylon, and it is broken up. Cale Stegner, the intended receiver, broken up 5 yards into the end zone. Incomplete. And the B-Diggers will have to attempt a field goal from Eric Rico. Yeah, he's in there. This should be about a 26-yard field goal. Now he's got a better angle here. This would be right to left, which a lot of right-footed kickers feel more comfortable with that. Nate Tyne will hold. They counted off 26-yard field goal from Eric Rico. 26-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and that kick is a line drive. It is good. Inside the left upright. 7.1 seconds to go. The B-Diggers lead by 12, 19-7.
Yeah, we'll see what Fort Morgan does at half, whether they can come back out and get 3 touchdowns or get 2 touchdowns. And
yeah, they may have to do it with a freshman quarterback. So,
well, they're going to have to get their linemen to do something because Brush is only putting 6 guys up in the box and stopping them, and they're never going to pass if that's the case. You can't beat 5 guys in the back. Going back, and then they'll throw a blitz and cover man to man and overwhelm us and sack us. So
we will see. Maybe we'll get a run back here.
Well, that run back's going to have to go for a touchdown. There's not enough time with 7.1 seconds to go.
Number 2, Eric Rico.
Keller and
For the Mustangs. Number 15, Adam Montez.
that's Langford back deep to receive.
David Keller.
I would imagine
Langford and Keller.
they'll probably squib it. Why kick into and let them set up a return?
There's a short kick. A little pooch bounces at the 23, fielded by Keller at the 25, and then he's going to be taken down.
David Keller.
And the time is going to run out right at the 25-yard line. And that is it. The Brush Bee Diggers play a tremendous opening half after being down early. The Mustangs took the early lead, but the Bee Diggers come back with 19 unanswered points. We have played 24 minutes of football from Larry Mills Field at Bee Digger Stadium. The score at the break, Brush 19, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
100 years of serving their customers.
Let's begin the second half. John Beltran along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde with the Bee Diggers leading the Mustangs from Larry Mills Field at Bee Digger Stadium 19-7. The Mustangs got on the board first on a 2-yard touchdown run from David Keller. The Bee Diggers a 51-yard pick six from Tanner Ludgate, a safety, 3-yard run from Ty Griffith, and a 26-yard field goal from Eric Rico, who kicks it off high and deep. Fielded at the 6-yard line by Keller, running to the 15. Nope, check that. That's going to be Langford instead. And he's down at the 23, a return of about 17 for Charlie Langford. And Levi Cox makes the tackle. There's a flag down at the 28-yard line. And it looks like this is going to come back even further. Not that it was a great return, but the Mustangs, who have freshman J.J. Marquez quarterbacking after Chase Romero went down with an undisclosed injury.
I think he might have an ankle injury of some type.
Yep.
Got my sideline reporter, Eric Nickel, over on the other side there. He said his shoe is off on one foot and one ankle is heavily wrapped.
Eric Nickel is also Brian's oldest son.
Correct. Nothing gets by you, does it?
No, I'm telling you.
Yeah. First down.
Oh, my gosh. I tell you what,
On the student team.
I don't know which one of you was winning the sarcasm battle tonight, but I think Brian just took the lead there.
Yep.
But I'm going to give it to Kevin anyway because it's his birthday.
Oh, yeah,
Doesn't that give you one?
He has points.
It is the day that people give things to me. So.
Right.
First and 10 Mustangs.
Brian's had two great lines tonight. Nothing gets by you, and Kevin wants his cake and eat it too. I mean, two fantastic lines that I could never come up with. First and 10 at the 23-yard line for the Mustangs. Marquez, the freshman. And again, they've got to keep this playbook very simple. They can get back into the game with a touchdown. 4 yards behind center, naked backfield, out of the gun. Two receivers put left and right. From the 23, back to throw. Pressure coming. Hit as he throws. The ball is loose. It's going to be picked up by Ludgate. No, they're going to say incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Ludgate would have picked it up and gone into the end zone for a touchdown. But it's going to be called an incomplete pass. Kevin Rohde, that was very close.
It was very close, and the way the umpire or the referee looked at it, he just kind of watched that ball flutter out there and didn't wave it off until it hit the ground. And the minute it hit the ground, he waved it off. So he was not hoping, but he was waiting to see whether Brush got to it in time.
Right. Well, you got to wait till it hits the ground just in case it's picked off.
Right.
But you're right. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now, I thought it was a fumble because he started to throw, but I don't know if that arm ever came forward.
Well, I don't even understand the pro and college rules of, if he's bringing the ball back to throw it, it's hit. And, all
second
that
down.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And 10. Low snap. Marquez will keep it himself, and he's going to be thrown down at the line of scrimmage after spinning and maybe lost a half a yard to the 22-yard line. Stegner, who had a big catch in the opening half, made the hit. Third down, and we'll call it 10 to go. No gain for Marquez. who's got 2 carries for 4 yards.
No gain on the play. Brings up
Yeah, they're trying to run it up the middle, and there's no room up the middle.
Right.
I don't believe Brush is going to pass in the entire second half. That's my call right now. I don't think they'll pass. With a 12-point lead, the only thing that can happen there for them, even though they've had 2 completions, is more negative than positive because they're 2 out of 8. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Marquez looks to throw. Deep along the right sideline, overthrown by about 8 yards. Johnson was well defended by Levi Cox, and now we're seeing the difference between having a freshman and a senior quarterback. Is Chase Romero did have periods of success last week, and Brian going for the home run again, which seems to be, I don't want to say inexplicable, but what are you accomplishing there?
Well, especially with a freshman quarterback. He's not putting any air under it whatsoever. It's just a line drive type of throw, and it's just too much right now.
High snap. Redding gets it off. That's another gorgeous end-over-end punt. It's going to be fielded. A fair catch at the 38.
by number 12,
Juan Sanchez with a fair catch. A punt of 38 yards with no return. There's only one way Fort Morgan gets back into the game. That's with a big turnover. They're going to have to benefit from a fumble or maybe a pick six themselves. Because even if they get a pick and they're in the red zone, how are they going to move the ball?
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, it's a lot of work to be done.
Third quarter is brought to you by Better Electric, covering all electric work from residential to commercial to agricultural. Better does matter. Call 970-521-1030. Under center's tied. Head off right up the gut. Griffith diving across the 40. Might have got the 41. The gain is 3 yards. Velasquez made the tackle. Carry number 21 for Ty Griffith. He's up to 68 yards. Talk about a workhorse. On 2nd down and 7 to go for the 41. Again, Tyne under center. The backs are split. Tyne will hand it off on the counter to Cox. He's thrown for a loss. Back at the 40-yard line. That counter hasn't worked at all.
Oscar Ramirez on that tackle.
Yeah, excellent play. Loss of 1. 3rd down and 8 to go.
If we just avoid the penalties, our defense is not doing that bad of a job. Gave up 12 points.
Well, Ty Griffith now in there. They're going to run a sweep, I think. If they get a block on Derry on the left side, they're going to go under center. Check that. Tyne back to throw over the middle. The pass is caught underneath and breaking a tackle and a first down. That is Cale Stegner across the 50 to the 47. Colin Duckworth makes the tackle, but it's a gain of 13 yards and a first down. Nate Tyne with his first completion of the season. Stegner with his second catch of the game.
Yeah, that was a well-conceived play, and then good defense, but just didn't execute the tackle.
It's a tight end dump. They've been doing that for years. Brush knows how to do that. They isolate the tight end. And that was a gorgeous play. 1st and 10 for the Bee-Diggers at the 47-yard line, leading 19-7. 9.5 to go in the 3rd. Handoff left side to Griffith, and he barrels his way as Duckworth makes the tackle to 45 for a gain of 2. I will say this, Colin Duckworth has had a very good game tonight, at least from a tackle standpoint.
Yeah, like I say, Fort Morgan's defense is not doing that bad.
No, but I said 3 minutes ago that Brush wouldn't throw a pass in the second half, and I got proven wrong in less than 3. So I don't.
Well, the run sets up the pass.
Well, that's it. But the run wasn't doing anything.
Right.
Not on that drive, but they converted a 3rd down and long. Now it's a 2nd down and 9 for the 45 of Fort Morgan. The backs are split. Tyne is under center. This will be a handoff on the counter to Ludgate. Room to the outside. Now cuts it to the middle to the 30. Ludgate to the 20. By himself at the 10 to the 5. And he falls in the end zone. It's a touchdown for Brush. Ludgate, the game breaker, goes 45 yards. And the Bee-Diggers now lead 25-7. Ludgate had 4 carries for 0 yards. And now he's got 5 carries for 45. And Brian, we saw this last week when Brush played Wiggins. Ludgate is a game breaker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was that misdirection in the backfield there, and once he got through that line of scrimmage, he was gone.
Yep.
The Eric Rico extra point is up and good. 8 minutes and 33 seconds to go. Third quarter. The Brush Bee Diggers in blowout fashion leading the Fort Morgan Mustangs in Brush by a score of 26-7 on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Bee Diggers have gotten on the board here. A 45-yard touchdown run. And that drive went 62 yards. And there's the kick. Charlie Langford at the 12. To his left to the 20-yard line. He's got a seam to the 30 with one to beat at the 40. And he's down at the 44. A return of nearly 30 yards for Langford. And the Mustangs are going to need a lot more of that just to be within the area code of this game, down by a 19-point margin, 26-7. Griffith with a touchdown. Ludgate with a touchdown. Ludgate with 2 touchdowns, one on the defensive end. Ludgate, the game breaker, a 51-yard interception return and a 45-yard run. Yeah, it looks like Trey Romero in there.
Yep.
A sophomore. Will be quick. He's got a nice arm. He's got a very good arm. His footwork is what has to be worked on, certainly. But he's got very good hands, excellent hands. And he's now in a shotgun, naked backfield. Ramirez on the inside slot, 1st and 10 from the 46. Right up the middle, and a gain of about 5. That's a solid run by Romero. The second Romero to be quarterback in this game for Fort Morgan. That's one of the best plays in the game for the Mustangs.
Yep.
10 yards at halftime, and now they got more.
Well, he's a bigger quarterback. He could be able to sustain that hit up the middle a little bit more than
Chase. Second down and 5 to go for the Bee Digger 49. Romero again, right up the gut, and he barrels his way to the 44. Actually, his footwork looks better than I've seen it. He's got a first down right behind his right guard.
But Brush is in a nickel. They only got 5 guys up there on the line now, 4 linemen and 1 linebacker, and the rest are DBs. They're figuring that Fort Morgan's going to have to pass to make up 19 points in a third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, this may be more about, it'd be nice to try to get back into this game, but this may be more trying to get an offense established
for next week.
Moving on.
When they're going to be a huge underdog against Roosevelt just based on this game. And they'll be outside the top 10 after this one. 1st and 10 for the Bee Digger 44. Romero to throw. Looks, sets up, goes along the sideline. Complete! Slanting back in at the 35, 36-yard line.
Chase Redding.
Is Chase Redding, his first catch. Nope. No, that's 23?
13. That was Chase.
Okay, my bad.
Which is
Yeah,
good
I saw
'cause
one.
he had a rough night last week, with several drops, so it's good to see Chase catching the ball.
It's a gain of 8. Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed by. He keeps going here. He's going to get the start next week. 2nd down and 2 to go.
Yeah, the passes look nice. He's got a nice tight spiral.
2 receivers split off to the right. On 2nd down and 2. Romero hands it off to Keller. Stutter steps. He's going to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but loses a yard. Third down and 3. Kevin?
Brush is just playing, prevent. That time, the 1 linebacker was back 5-6 yards off the line of scrimmage. They don't respect Fort Morgan's running game at all.
No.
Nor should they.
Yeah, what are they doing?
3rd down and 3 for the 37. Late substitution at Samson Ortega. Mustangs might need a timeout. You don't want to delay a game on a 3rd and short.
Looks like David Keller is going to be
Yep, he's
quarterback.
4 yards behind center on a 3rd and 3 from the 37. Keller will probably take it himself, you'd think. He gets the snap, looks, runs to his right, back up the middle. Man, he is thrown down like a rag doll. Dominic Ontiveros threw him back. I mean, he wrestled him to the ground.
Yeah. Right.
And it's a 4th down and 3 to go for the 37. Keller tonight has 6 carries for 7 yards and a 2-yard touchdown. Under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Brush 26, Fort Morgan 7. The Mustangs had an early 7-0 lead. Redding is the receiver to the right. Lopez and Johnson to the left. Romero, that is Trey Romero, the sophomore, back in at quarterback. 4th down and 3 to go. Romero drops the ball. It's loose.
I think Brush got on it.
And it doesn't matter anyway because it's 4th down. The snap was a little bit low, but Romero never got control of the ball. It's going to go as a turnover because Brush did recover. And Ontiveros, they made a big hit on Keller, recovers.
I think he was pulling out of there before the snap got there.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. Again, that's inexperience. Now I'd be surprised if the Bee Diggers threw the ball the rest of the game because they have a 19-point lead. 4.5 to go in the 3rd.
Ball spotted at the 42. 1st and 10, your Bee Diggers.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. If they keep this up, this would be the first career win for head coach Joe Rosenbrock. Under center is Ty Griffith, quarterback keeper. He's got some yardage across the 45 to the 46, right behind his center. And no problem there. He just stormed his way right through the middle. And again, he's done so much work. Carry number 23 of the game. And he is up to 74 yards on 23 carries, which is not a very good average, but they don't need a great average.
No. No, you make, 4 yards a pop. There's always that chance he's going to break it.
Yeah. Well, they broke one on the misdirection with Ludgate, but that was obviously a different play. Baxter split. 2nd and 7 from the 46. Another quarterback keeper, and that's some big yardage again to midfield and maybe to the 49. Noah Aguirre makes the hit. It's a gain of 5. 79 yards on 24 carries.
Yeah, the Brush offensive line is just doing their job and opening holes and moving them down the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
On 3rd down and 1 from the 49. Under center. There's going to be a give that time. And nothing doing. Right up the gut. That's a quick hitter. And that's Cox. No gain. Cox has 2 carries for a -1. But the clock rolls under 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Brush leads Fort Morgan 26-7. Ty Griffith with a 3-yard touchdown run. Tanner Ludgate from 45 yards out, also a pick 6 when Brush was up 7-0. He went 51, a safety and a field goal from Eric Rico. 4th and 1 from the 49. The backs are split, a long one. Quarterback keeper, that's going to be a 1st down. And that is Ty Griffith. And what happened there? Is the ball loose?
I think as they were driving him back.
Yeah, I think he's got a 1st down to the 47 for a gain of 2.
Yeah.
The coaches of Fort Morgan, are they going to?
Somebody's down.
They might measure.
Caleb
Hernandez.
Jimenez. No, that's Brush.
Adolfo Hernandez is flat on his back. I think he's got a 1st down. But the sticks haven't moved at all. Nonetheless, it's a gain of 2 for Ty Griffith.
The drone in the sky thinks it's a change of possession because it's moving down to the other side.
Yeah.
Well, they better measure.
Check.
Going back home.
Yeah, that looks clearly a 1st down.
Yep.
Keeping banking simple with no monthly maintenance fees and no monthly minimum balances. That's High Plains Bank. Visit highplainsbank.com. We're down to 2:27 to go in the third with the Mustangs trailing by 19, and the clock is rolling from the 47. There's a backwards pass by Griffith. It's caught along the sideline by Ludgate. That's going to go as a rush. That is a rush. That is not a pass. It's a first down.
Now they're opening up the playbook.
Was that Ludgate? I thought it,
Yeah.
It's a gain of 11. That will go as a rush because it was a backwards, it was a lateral. Ludgate all of a sudden had 6 carries for 56 yards. Just shy of the 36-yard line. When this play commences, we'll be under 2 minutes to go in the third. On first down, under center is Nate Tyne. Let's see if this is just a quick hitter. This will be a handoff right up the gut. That might be Snelling. I don't think that is Griffith. Let's see. That's what Paul Acosta said. No, that's Snelling. Yeah, Griffith is much bigger than that. It's a gain of a couple for Snelling. Second down and 8 to go at the 34. Oh, they've only chewed up about 3 minutes. It seems longer.
Yeah.
But they'll probably take this into the fourth quarter because all they have to do is run 2 plays, and they'll take this into the fourth quarter, at least if they're on the ground. Second down and 8 to go for the Mustang 34. There's the pitch right, and that is Levi Cox, who stutter steps. A flag is down, and then he's tackled for a loss back at the 37 or 38. That's an excellent play by the Mustang defense.
And number 22, David Keller. There's
Locked up by a few Mustangs, including Keller. The loss is back to the 37 for a loss of 3. The flag is down. This should be a hold against Brush.
Looks like they're walking it off against. Oh, okay.
Well, they're going to decline the penalty.
That penalty declined. Third down.
So it goes as a loss of 3. Third down and about 10. And the clock should restart. Let's see. They've spotted the ball in play, or for play. Why does the clock not restart? It's not an incomplete pass. I don't know what's happening here. There you go. Well, you can't start winding, official, back at now. I mean, you wind that a lot earlier. 3rd and 10. Griffith to throw. Rolls out to his right. He's sacked! Oh, the pressure coming from David Keller. Back at the 44, loss of 7. David Keller with a perfect form tackle right around the ankles. And Beat Digger's down.
Griffith.
Is that Griffith?
Yep.
Yeah, because that was a perfect form tackle. Hopefully, as far as Griffith is concerned and the Beat Digger fans, it's only a cramp.
I don't know if he got twisted when he tackled him or.
Well, he did cramp up last week. Yeah, he'll be okay. Griffith is so tough. The only thing that's going to take him out is a concussion, which he was sidelined with last year in the playoffs against Resurrection Christian.
Yep.
Does that look like a cramp?
Yeah, they're not working it out like a cramp.
Nope, you're right. They'd lift that leg. Oh, boy. He looks like he's in pain from
He's
here.
hurting.
Yeah,
Slapping the ground with that left arm.
that would be a big loss.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Well, that would be the season. If they lose Griffith, Brush has no chance to do anything this season in terms of consistent winning. They'll win more games, but you can't have your best player out.
Right.
Impossible. They're still good enough. It's next man up. But you don't replace Ty Griffith with one player. If you replace Ty Griffith with one player, he wouldn't carry the ball as many times as he has.
Yeah. Nice gesture there by David Keller going over and shaking his hand. That's like an ankle or a
Yeah, I
knee
think
or
he
something.
twisted it. Well, he's probably done for the game. He's just too tough. I don't think he's going to play the rest of the game, but he's got to. And Brush is off next week, which is a good thing for them. They don't play for 2 weeks
Oh yeah.
when they take on Yuma. Yeah, Griffith doesn't want any treatment right now, but I think he's going to sit out the rest of the game. I mean, there's no reason for him to play anymore with a 19-point lead. And this should be a quick kick, no? It's 4th down, and they've got to get to the 27, 4th and 17. And this will be a quick, it's blocked! It is blocked, the ball is loose, and it's picked up by Brush. That is Tanner Ludgate across the 45 to the 44.
By 37, Tanner Ludgate.
That punt was blocked.
This was a no gain.
Well, that quick kick
Going to be turned over to the Mustangs, brought down by number
from Richie Bruno, a freshman.
63, Colin Duckworth.
And if you're going to quick kick it, you got to get away from the middle.
Yeah.
He
Well,
just
Griffith,
kicked it right into the defender.
because Griffith kicked their other one.
Right.
Now he's prone out here on the sideline. So
39.8 seconds to go in the third. The Mustangs have very good field position at the 44. They did pick up a first down in their most recent drive. They have two receivers out to the left. Awaiting the snap, Romero, play action, back to throw. He's got plenty of protection, deep over the middle, broken up.
Oh,
And are they going to call interference? Oh, that's an awful call. It was broken up by Brush, intended for Johnson at the 29-yard line. They're going to call interference against Brush. That's really a bad call. That's an awful call.
Yeah.
I don't know where you call interference on that play. Yeah, it is. I mean,
yeah.
there was no, the pass was clearly broken up with no interference. How that call is made is beyond me.
Unless the interference took place like 4 or 5 steps.
I didn't see it.
before
None of us saw that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I think the Mustangs got a huge break, and they need multiple breaks.
that one guy saw it.
Yeah, the guy with the
The flag that was 5 yards away.
First and 10 for the Mustangs at the Beat Digger 40. Romero again looking to throw, sets deep up the left sideline. Johnson's out there, and he dropped the ball at about the 5. It looked like it was right there. A perfect pass from Romero, and I think the ball got too close to his uniform, and he couldn't haul it in. That should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like it was right up where it should be. I mean, it was up high.
He let it get too close to his body.
Yep, that's exactly what happened, Kevin. Again, on your birthday.
You keeping score?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're ahead.
way ahead.
Yeah, you've taken over here in the fourth quarter or
Right.
third quarter, whatever quarter it is.
It's still the third
Should be
quarter.
the fourth quarter.
Right. Yeah. Well, it should have been the fourth quarter about 20 minutes ago. Second down and 10 for the Mustangs at the Beat Digger 41-yard line, trailing Brush 26-7. Out of the gun, and now we've got a flag down. Is that delay of game? It is. That would have been a handoff to Ortega, Samson Ortega.
That penalty, first down.
It'll be second down. Did he say first down? It should be
Should be
second down. And 15 at the Beat Digger 46-yard line.
Yeah, a lot of work for the Mustangs this coming week. Play clock is, what's the play clock in high school? 30
who
seconds?
knows? Yeah, I think it's 30.
30.
Second down and 15. Play action. Romero takes it himself, a seam across the 45, and then Ontiveros hits him flush. Holy mahungus, Ontiveros got him flush. And it's a gain of only 2 yards. They're up to the line of scrimmage. 3 seconds to go.
Got it off.
And now, let's see, did they get it off? Apparently not.
Oh, they got it off way early.
No, there was no play. And a Mustang is down in Ramirez.
Well, and on the play, Johnson catches the ball, and the Brush defender throws him to the ground out there.
Well,
And
oh,
then
there's
call
a little
penalty.
flag. Yeah, there was no play.
Private snap, false start, offense.
Oh, that's what happened.
Please put 3.2 on the clock. We will watch
Lopez
this
is called for the false start. If not, that could have been 6
No, they
for the Mustangs.
No, they have to do the penalty here now before they.
And that's unfortunate for the Brush defender because he thought he was just playing defense. Fort Morgan kid thought he had it. He was going for the end zone, but
Got to listen to that whistle.
That's right.
You play to the whistle, not through the whistle.
We have a dead ball Unsportsmanlike. On the defense, head coach.
He's pointing the wrong way. The defense is not wearing white. He said defense, did he not?
Yep.
I don't know what's going on.
That is direction. That is on Fort Morgan's head coach.
Well, Ty Davies is about 5 or 6 steps out into the field.
He wants to talk to the ref.
How can it be on Fort Morgan? He got thrown to the ground.
Unless Johnson said something.
Yep, that's possible.
That could have been it, yeah. Nonetheless, we got to get to the end of the third quarter. This is a mess, and there's a situation now that the Mustangs are facing. They're at the 36. They've got to get to the 32. So it's 3rd and 32 to go for Fort Morgan. You might as well send Johnson down the field. They're wanting to wind the clock. Does he get it off? Yes. Romero to throw, tipped, caught by Johnson well behind the line of scrimmage, breaks out of a tackle, and then is down near the original line of scrimmage. And that's the end of the third quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter.
The Mustangs trail the Beat Diggers 26-7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We head to the fourth quarter here at Larry Mills Field at Beat Digger Stadium. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. And the Beat Diggers have put on a clinic after the opening 3 minutes in which Fort Morgan scored the first touchdown in a Beat Digger miscue. It went from 7-0 now at 26-7. And Fort Morgan's got a 4th down and 33 to go.
Heated discussion over on the sideline between a couple officials and Coach Davies, and it was kind of interesting. They just kept walking towards him, getting in his face so that he had to back off because, of course, if he makes any contact with an official, I think that was pretty purposeful.
High snap, Redding comes down with it and he gets it off. That's another great punt by Redding. He's done a tremendous job. Takes a huge Mustang roll after it bounces at the 41 and goes down to the 27-yard line. I'm telling you, he's done a great job. 38-yard punt on something that looked really bad because of the high snap, and Redding has been one of the few bright spots for the Mustangs tonight just with a punting game, and he's getting some praise along the sideline. Now the Beat Diggers 8 seconds into the fourth with a 19-point lead have the ball at their own 27-yard line. Nate Tyne will be under center. Yeah, Griffith should be out of the game, and he is. Or maybe, no. Is he in that backfield? Let's see. On first down from the 27, handoff left side. That kind of looks like Griffith. Man, this kid is tough. That kid is tough.
Well,
you know what I think happened when he went down? I'm sorry, Kevin. I think he just, when you get your ankles clipped, and that, you go bone from the left ankle, hits bone from the right ankle, and then it hurts for a while, then you're fine.
And when he came to the sideline, he was on the ground. It looked like they were working on cramps, but he probably told the coach, "This is the last chance I get to beat Fort Morgan. I want to be out there and enjoy it."
A gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 to go from the 29.
But you got to look at the whole picture, though. You don't want to be lost. If you're hurt, there's no use going through it.
I agree. 83 yards for Ty Griffith. Man in motion to the left is Ferguson. Rolling left is Nate Tyne. He throws underneath. The pass is tipped incomplete. That could have been picked off.
Yep.
I mean, I'm surprised Brush even ran a play like that. I mean, you want to work on the offense, but if Fort Morgan comes up with a play here,
Right.
all of a sudden things get interesting.
But the other thing you have to look at is, in today's football where they're filming everything and everybody gets to look at you, if you don't ever throw, then when it comes time to throw, or I guess when you get up to the line of scrimmage, you run the same play out of the same formation and never do anything different.
Yeah, they didn't throw last week other than 3 times.
Right.
3rd down and 8 to go for the 29. See if this is a run play. Rolling out right, this will be Ty Griffith along the sideline across the 30 to the 34. Nice solid gain of about 5. Ramirez makes the hit on Griffith. Man, what an effort here by Ty Griffith. 27 carries for 88 yards. I think they're going to let the play clock go down, and they might call a timeout as we're down to 10:25 to go in the game. Brush 26, Fort Morgan 7. It's make it 4th down and 3 at their own 34. Well, they're up by 3 scores, so if they go for it and don't get it, or they might try to get them offside. No, the snap, handoff to Ludgate. He's going to be thrown down for a loss at the 31, not even close. And that is Aiden Derry throwing Ludgate for a 4-yard loss, and the Mustangs have incredible field position.
I'm sorry, but that just shows Brush's disregard for Fort Morgan's offense. They're not at all worried about Fort Morgan being able to score here, even with good field position.
Yep.
What have they proven?
Nothing. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ball spotted at the 31 of the B-Diggers, 1st and 10 Mustangs.
Well, it's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the Brush 31-yard line. And the Mustangs have committed, 4 turnovers tonight. And they're down to their 3rd quarterback. David Keller did take a snap. Trey Romero, the sophomore, 4 yards behind center from the 31 of Brush. Was that motion there by Samson Ortega? Or
Yeah,
just
but he can reset.
Yeah, he can reset. He can reset. You can't go forward and reset. He'll get the handoff running up the middle. He's got a nice hole. A flag is down, though. That's going to be thrown on Fort Morgan. A hold in the middle as he's down at the 25-yard line. That 6-yard gain, nearly 7. Looks like it will be nullified. Well, it's not a surprise that they're called for holding, because how many big holes have they had up the middle?
None.
And there's a reason for that, and that one was probably created obviously in an illegal way there, according to the official. 2nd down, or make it 1st down, and 19 for the 40. Under 10 minutes to go in the game. Brush leads Fort Morgan 26-7. We had a 51-yard interception return from Tanner Ludgate, a safety, a field goal from Eric Rico. 26 yards, Romero to throw, deep in the pocket, heaves it back foot, wide open, and it's out of bounds. It's out of bounds. Ortega, even if he caught it at the 11, was way out of bounds. It was just an errant throw by Romero, but he's got a good arm.
Yeah, and he didn't even step into it. He kind of threw that off his back foot.
Yeah.
Didn't really, if they work with him and get some footwork on him, I think the kid could be a quarterback.
Yeah, he has a nice spiral, too. A nice throw out there, but let him too far out of bounds.
And he's a lefty. That's never easy to defend. 2nd down and 19 from the 40. They've got 2 receivers split out each side. A naked backfield. Trey Romero out of the gun. On 2nd down, is back to throw, rolls out to his right, sets, hit as he throws, and that pass is going to be broken up. He threw that into traffic, intended for Johnson at the 30-yard line, but this secondary for Brush has been pretty stout.
Yeah, they had him well covered over there. They're going to be double teaming Johnson anyway, so they're going to have to look him off and find somebody that's single coverage. But when you do that, you got to have trust in him. You got to be able to catch the ball once it's thrown to you.
That's right.
3rd down and 19 to go from the Brush 40-yard line. 9:37 to go in a very long game. Romero to throw, pressure coming, hit as he throws, incomplete. Johnson near that right hash mark at the 16-yard line, and it was, again, overthrown, but he had very little time there.
That's right. He was pressured.
Brings up 4th down.
Well, do you just send Johnson in a fly pattern and hope for the best?
Well, Brush is lining up with 3 or 4 guys at least 10, 15 yards downfield. Because they know that's all they can do is heave it down there, and the rest of the guys are putting pressure, forced them to throw underneath.
We haven't seen a screen pass in this game. I thought we'd see that, especially with that pressure. 4th down and 19 to go for the Brush 40-yard line. Romero with a 5-step drop, sets, heaves it deep up the right side. Johnson's out there, but it's incomplete. There's going to be interference. I think he was held up. That's a good call. Looked like he was held up at the 16 as he tried to reroute himself, and that is going to be called against Brush, but it will not be a first down. It's only a 15-yard penalty.
But it makes it a manageable 4th down.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. He was cut off trying to redirect that route. So now it'll be 4th down, and it should be 4 yards to go. 4th and 4 at the 25. And I'm not talking about the wide receiver screen. I'm talking about a conventional screen to a running back.
Right.
You know? Or that wheel route they threw last week, and Keller was wide open. 4th down and 4 for the Mustangs at the Beat Digger 25. 9:26 to go in the game. Romero looks to throw out to his left. It's incomplete. He overshot Redding by a mile, way over Redding at the 16. And the Beat Diggers take over on downs.
Yeah, he was open too.
Now the Beat Diggers go the other way at their own 25. And you expect a lot of the ground game now.
Loss of downs, ball's going to be spotted at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, your Beat Diggers.
And I wonder how much time either one of these backup quarterbacks has had practice with the first offense.
Yeah, very little, for sure.
So,
no, that's a good point. I mean, there's nothing you can do, and now Brush has to call a timeout because of a personnel issue. We'll keep it right here with 9:22 to go in the game. The Beat Diggers lead 26-7. Brush is off next week, so Tyler Carmen will be with you in 2 weeks on 1010 KSIR when the Beat Diggers take on the Yuma Indians. That'll be on September 16th. Brian, Kevin, and I next week will be in Johnstown. Fort Morgan, well, I think Kevin will be with us most games, but Fort Morgan is at Roosevelt on B106 at 7 o'clock. Then we'll be in Pueblo County in 2 weeks. Then we'll be in Frederick 3 weeks from tonight. And then the majority of the rest of the games will be at home. The Mustangs have a bye on September 30th. And for the majority of that October schedule, they'll be at home. But you want to say, every coach wants to say, they don't want a rebuilding season. They want a reloading season. This has clearly now become, after 2 games, a rebuilding season.
yeah.
I mean, you do have some seniors in there. Duckworth is good, and there's the give on the counter. Running left is Ludgate. A seam along the sideline. He is loose. And a first down across the 35-yard line. To the 38, it's a gain of 13 for Tanner Ludgate.
They get that speed on the outside, and they get what they need out there. That's apparently what Fort Morgan does not have, is able to get outside, get that speed outside.
While between Ludgate and Ty Griffith, they have run for 153 yards, and they've done it on 35 carries. Can't argue with that.
No. Just what they wanted to do.
Yep, 1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at their own 38-yard line. Time to throw, and that's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a rush, and Levi Cox is drilled. Again, that's not going to go as a pass. And that is thrown behind the line of scrimmage. So that'll be a rush and a loss of about 6. And that's not being cruel. That's what happens.
Yep.
If you don't throw it forward, it's like a pitch. It's like a lateral. Clock now at 8:38 to go. The Colorado Prep scoreboard show will follow, but that's going to be after 9:30. We won't be off the air by 9:30. We'll have a quick post game. It was 19-7 at halftime. 2nd down and 16 to go. Tied under center. Handoff. Griffith off left tackle. He dives to the 35 for a gain of 3. Ty Griffith up to 91 yards. Ortega in on the play. Oscar Ramirez limping off the field along with Christian Velasquez. And for the Beat Diggers, it's 3rd down and 13 to go from their own 35-yard line.
And I'm thinking it's almost time for them to start substituting a little more freely and get some of these younger kids an opportunity to play. With a 19-point lead.
We'll see, huh?
Yeah, I think this is Griffith's last drive. It's got to be. 3rd and 13 at the 35. Tyne looking to throw, pressure coming, and then that pass is incomplete. He tried to dump it off, but there's nobody there. Could have been intentional grounding. I didn't see even a running back near the football. It's 4th down. Yeah, they're desperately working on the passing game. I think that they don't, it's not running up the score. Kevin, you hit the nail on the head again. They've got to work on something, so they pose a threat to future opponents.
That's right.
Yeah, I think Griffith was out on that play, and is he in there to punt? I don't believe so, is he? They're going to go back in the traditional
Yeah,
punt
that
formation.
might be Flores at his own 20-yard line. Awaiting the snap, the Mustangs coming from the left side. Flag is down, and that's a low line drive. Johnson has it at the 40. Johnson along the right sideline of the 50. Johnson is loose at the 40, cuts it back, and along the sideline again to the outside at the 30. Hopefully this flag is not against Fort Morgan. If not, that would nullify everything, but I think that's probably against Brush.
Brought down by number 79, Samuel Thomas Haas.
We'll see. I don't think anybody, there's definitely not encroachment there. I would think this is against the offense for the punting team, and it is. And that return went for 30 yards.
That play declined. Result, 1st down.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs.
Boy, it'd be nice to be able to get the ball into that kid's hands. The speed he has, holy cow.
There's 5 yards added after the run.
Huh. Okay.
Not sure what happened there.
Well, because of the penalty and the kick and everything, I guess they're giving them the 5-yard penalty, so they don't have to not take that. But it should be 1st and 10 at that spot.
Yeah, they got to get it set there. They go.
1st down and 10 at the 25-yard line of the Beat Diggers. The Mustangs nearly in the red zone. The first time they were in the red zone, they scored. On the inside slot is Ramirez. Romero stutter steps off right tackle, and he lunges towards the 22 for a gain of 3.
Trey Romero, the ball carrier, brought down by number 35, Ty Griffith, and number 21, Dylan.
That's just one where it's almost like a quarterback draw. Try and make him play a little more honest on that defensive line, but getting 2 yards is not going to do that for you.
2nd down and 7 at the 22-yard line. 6:53 to go in the game. Romero looks to throw out to his right. The pass is incomplete. He threw it behind Johnson at the 16-yard line.
In on the coverage, number 23, Levi Cox.
3rd down. 3rd down and 7 to go.
3rd down and 7 for the Mustangs.
See if they get more. Well, we won't know until next week what kind of reps either one of these quarterbacks will have if Chase Romero can't play next week.
You got to go with Trey Romero.
Yeah.
I mean, he's by far, it's not even close. I mean, he looks pretty seasoned. He's got to work on his passing. He'll take the football himself, run to the 20. He's got a seam to the 10-yard line. Trey Romero on a 3rd and long with a strong run, a gain of about 13, and a 1st and goal for the Mustangs. He went right behind his right tackle, and he got a seam and was able to find it. And Romero running the ball pretty well on this drive.
Yeah, that was a nice little run, and he just picked his hole and happened to open up as he slid farther outside.
And if Fort Morgan scores, they're going to onside kick it. There's still time here, 6:22 to go. I mean, they're down by 3 scores. The game is lost, but you want to remain as competitive as possible. Trips to the left. 1st and goal at the 10. They're just spreading it out because Romero's probably going to run it again. Man in motion, resetting there is Aguirre. Running to his left is Romero, but that time he's thrown down for a loss, and they knew it. They knew it. He was hit hard at about the 11. Cole Curtis made the hit. Oh, they'll give him nothing there.
Go to the well once too many, I guess.
Yeah, that's been their best. That's been their best offense, is Trey running the ball.
Yep.
Second down and goal from the 10. 5:43 to go in the game. Romero looks to throw. A fade into the end zone. Touchdown! Did he catch it? No, incomplete. Johnson had it, and then he dropped it in the back of the end zone. That should have been caught. That's the second time that Romero's thrown a perfect pass to Johnson. And a tremendous athlete Johnson is, but he dropped the ball. Yeah, you can't throw that any better. Perfect pattern and perfect pass, but the catch was not made.
I wonder if Johnson will have nightmares tonight of balls coming at him and he's got to catch them.
Well, the one he caught didn't count.
Right.
Third and goal at the 10, down to under 5.5 to go in the game. Rush 26, Fort Morgan 7. Trips to the left, one to the right. Romero with a three-step drop, another slant, but nobody's there. Not sure what happened there. Romero just threw the pass as if it was going to be a slant. Fourth down.
Yeah, and Johnson stopped out there like it was a hook, button hook type of pass out on the far side.
Well, that's 7 straight incompletions by Trey Romero. That's not all on him, but that one probably was. At the 10, fourth and goal. Can the Bee Diggers come up with a stand? Johnson is isolated as the lone receiver to the left. Two receivers out to the right. One setback. That is Samson Ortega. On fourth and goal for the 10. Romero back to throw. Looks over the middle. The pass is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown, Chase Redding. 10 yards away and fourth down. And the Mustangs are back on the board. Rush 26, Fort Morgan 13. Well, I think they found their quarterback.
Quarterback. Yep, yeah, I think so. Came open there behind in between the backs and the linebackers, and Trey got it to him.
Brandon Marquez to attempt the extra point. Off the hold of Langford. That is up, and that's right there. It's good. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the game. It's Rush 26, Fort Morgan 14 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs get into the end zone. A fourth and goal, a 10-yard pass from Trey Romero to Chase Redding. Brian, you got to be happy with that. You said, hey,
yeah,
we can get into the end zone. I mean, you got to build on this game.
That's a nice positive there for the Mustangs. Get something to build on. Trey looks nice out there. He's gets a little bit more practice there. He's running the ball well, takes a hit. And nice looking passes out there.
Yeah. And Marquez is an experienced kicker. I think he knows how to squib this thing, to get a good hop. Why not? And they're going to go for the onside kick. This is the play. From the left hash mark, 5:20 to go in the game. Let's see if Marquez gets a good bounce. And that one is squibbed, and the ball is fielded on one hop perfectly. That is perfectly fielded by a Bee Digger along the Fort Morgan sideline on one hop. Didn't get that hop, and quite frankly, I don't know if he was going for the hop or he was almost trying to kick it right into a Bee Digger so it would deflect off the Bee Digger.
I think he was trying. They had like 5 or 6 Mustangs over on that other side, so he had to kick it far enough over there, and they would have never got that with the bounce.
First and 10 for the Bee Diggers at their own 47. Now Fort Morgan is going to start using timeouts. Down by 12 with 5:13 to go in the game. Griffith is under center. Griffith will hand it off right up the middle to Ludgate. He's thrown down by Ramirez at midfield. It's a gain of 3. Second down. I'll give him the 49. Second down and 6 to go. Ludgate is up to 69 yards on 9 carries. And we're under 5 minutes to go in the game. The Bee Diggers have led since trailing 7-0. They took over with a touchdown and a safety. second down and 6 at the Mustang 49. Under center is Griffith. He will keep the football running along the sideline, and he dives to the 49 just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Charlie Langford makes the hit. It'll be third down and 6 to go at the 49.
Good job of stringing that one out and making him try and get to the boundary, and he couldn't make it.
Big play. Mustangs will take a timeout if they stop him here. Carry number 29 for Griffith. Third and 6 at the Mustang 49. Quarterback keeper runs behind a blocker. He keeps going. Griffith with a first down. What a run, a gain of 10. That's not only strong running, I think it's the timing of the snap.
Yeah.
Because it looked like some of the Mustangs were flat-footed.
Yeah, you got to change that up once in a while. You keep, if you're always snapping it on the same count, they're going to get used to that.
And that takes discipline on offense to be able to go on different snaps and not jump or, forget the count.
Yep.
30 carries for Ty Griffith for 106 yards.
He's going to be sore tomorrow.
You know who else is going to be sore? Everybody who tried to tackle him.
That's right.
Because I'm telling you, he doesn't go down easy.
No, he's a punisher.
Nate Tyne is now the quarterback. First and 10 at the Mustang 39. 26-14, Brush in the lead. There's the gift to Ludgate, and he's slammed down after a yard. There's a timeout called by the Mustangs. Oscar Ramirez made the hit. Even Ludgate now at 70 yards on 10 carries. So, essentially, 40 carries for 176 yards. Not even, well, it is over 4 yards a carry because Ludgate went off for 45 on that touchdown.
Yeah, it's been a workmanlike performance for the Brush offense.
Yeah, I mean, you just keep pounding. You don't go away from your identity.
Yep.
Well, what's frustrating is that 2 weeks in a row, Fort Morgan had the lead and the game was turned around completely by a pick six.
Yep.
I mean, really, Fort Morgan hasn't recovered from that pick six even from last week.
Yep.
You're right.
As you said earlier, same play.
All right, the timeout is concluded with 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the game. And it's second down for Brush at the B Digger 39-yard. Make it the 38, at the Mustang 38, excuse me. Under center is Griffith. The backs are split. Will Griffith take it himself? And that's going to be a false start. It looked like Snelling moved in the backfield.
Yep.
Joe Rosenbrock not happy.
Offense, number 21.
Well, the only thing that can stop Brush tonight is themselves.
Well, the Mustangs were going to jump off sides there.
Yep.
There was some encroachment there, but when the back moved, now it's second down and 14 from the 43. Griffith with a handoff on the misdirection to Ludgate. Gets around a defender to the 40, along the sideline to the 30, and then he's down. It's got to be a first down for Tanner Ludgate with all that speed to burn. Let's check out the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 18 for Tanner Ludgate. Ludgate up to 88 yards. Are they going to have two 100-yard carriers tonight?
Looks like they leave him in there long enough.
At the 25. Yeah, they won't roll clock. He went out of bounds.
Yep.
There's a quarterback keeper, and Ty Griffith runs into a bunch of Mustangs for a short gain. Fort Morgan will not take a timeout. Hernandez, who was hurt earlier, makes the play. A gain of only 1.
Just a reminder also at the end of the game, don't forget to help clean up and throw your trash away.
107 yards on 31 carries for Ty Griffith with a football at the 24-yard line. What a game he's played. Here's the thing, I don't think he's tired.
Oh, no.
I mean,
He doesn't seem to be.
No, he's in great shape.
Well, he's enjoying this one a lot more than he did last week. And like I said, this is his last chance to beat those cross-county rivals.
Brush has called a timeout with 2:11 to go in the game. I cannot imagine the elation that Joe Rosenbrock, a 2011 Fort Morgan Brush graduate, whose final game was a state championship loss to Olathe in Aurora, is feeling right now, 11 years after he graduated, knowing that his first win as a head coach is going to come against Fort Morgan.
That's right.
At Larry Mills Field at B. Digger Stadium.
And I think he's also a good enough coach that he's cringing at all the mistakes they're making and all the things that they got to do to be able to have success the rest of the season.
He had to be thinking this was a huge game.
Yes.
He is the first head coach of the B Diggers that was a former student athlete in Brush since Larry Mills. Randy Dreitz went to school at North Glen. Reed Call was a Fort Morgan graduate, as was Lance Schwint. So you coach your first game at this stadium, now called Larry Mills Field at B. Digger Stadium. He's thinking, I can't lose this game.
That's right.
Yep.
And he's going to win this game.
Yep.
And I look forward to a lot of years of good success with him. You know, he's got a good football pedigree. And
29 years old. Second down and 9 at the 24. Under center is Griffith. Bootleg out to the right. He's got all types of room to the 20-yard line. And he pinballs off a defender. And he is down at about the 15. I think he was down anyway. He bounced off that defender, but now before a gain of 10 yards. And Ty Griffith picked up a first down. Here, let's see if they take a knee. Now they can pretty much take a knee and cement this.
There we go. Couldn't get the clock started.
Well, they could go into victory formation. Let's see what they elect to do. At the 14-yard line with 1:45 to go in the game of the Baxter split. Griffith with a quarterback keeper. He's got room near the 9-yard line. Now the Mustang defense is just tired.
Yeah.
Gain of 5.
Stopping the clock. Where are they stopping the clock?
Well, there was an injury.
No.
Ramirez is coming off the field slowly.
Yeah. They're just stopping it for injury timeout.
It's second down and 5 to go at the 9.
If you're in the stadium, please come to the announcer's booth. Rory Berry.
Well, they might try to score, but they're going to do it with basic running. Nate Tynes under center, second and 5 from the 9. With a back split. Tyne will hand it off to Ludgate, and he dives to about the 7 for a gain of 2.
Picked up by number 44, Jackson Wiegert.
90 yards for Ludgate. I mean, they could really elect to take the knee here.
Yep.
Because you got 50 seconds to go. This game would be over if they take a knee.
well, at least they're not like taking timeouts like last week.
Yeah, well, they didn't. Wiggins took the time. Yeah. Well, you're right, but there's really no need to score here.
Nope.
You take the knee, nobody gets hurt on this play.
Yeah.
But they're not going into victory formation. They're going to run a play, and now a timeout is called. Well, you call a timeout, then you have.
You get the timeout before the penalty.
It is. They got the timeout before the penalty. 28.9 seconds to go.
Now you better come out in victory formation. That's my belief anyway. But
yeah, and why not just take the penalty? Take the penalty and
yeah, just take a knee.
And take a knee and get it over with.
Well, we'll find out.
But that's why I'm up here and they're down there.
Yeah, nice.
No, but I mean listen. When Wiggins did what they did last week, Wiggins fans were questioning it,
right,
from what I understand.
Yeah.
And somewhere down the line, that could come back to haunt them.
Yeah.
No guarantees, but it's something that we're all questioning. But it's over and done with. But there could be repercussions down the line.
Yeah.
Rush has the opportunity.
Looks like
they can
they're
take a
gonna kneel on it. Good move.
Yeah, I mean, you take the knee, they're in victory formation. And this is the right way to do it. This is the dignified way to do it. And when their first game of 2022, a very impressive performance by the Bee Diggers, they took advantage of Mustang mistakes as we're down to 28 seconds to go. And there is the knee.
Yep.
And the Brush Bee Diggers have come away with a 26-14 victory at Larry Mills Field at Bee Digger Stadium. Let's take a 1-minute break. We'll wrap it up after this. On your home of the defending state champions, Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with Kevin Rohde and Brian Nickel as the Brush Bee Diggers win their home opener by a score of 26-14. The post-game show brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Advanced Agri Solutions. Make sure the nutrients you purchase for your field are getting to your crops. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water with Advanced Agri Solutions. Call Dusty or Roxy 970-571-2024. The Bee Diggers with a 26-14 fell behind after a missed snap on special teams. And then it was a 2-yard touchdown run by David Keller, making it 7-0. But then undoubtedly, the play that turned the game around, that 51-yard interception returned by Tanner Ludgate. And then it was 7-7. And if that wasn't bad enough, then you had a special teams miscue with Samson Ortega trying to handle the football, and then he went out of bounds at the 1. And Brian, I don't know if they just don't have the offensive line, but I mean they couldn't gain an inch and went backwards for a safety.
Yeah, it looked pretty dire, that's for sure. But at least towards the end of the game here, it looked like they have got maybe a new quarterback that they may go to now with Trey Romero. You know, a lot of running up the middle. He was getting 3-4 yards a pop. Not got a nice ball. He's just going to have a little practice there, and because he had Johnson open a couple of times. Johnson had it in his hands and dropped it.
Twice.
Yep, and he just got to get a little more practice, I think. But he looks. That was a positive thing for the Mustangs here after he had got in there. Just feel bad for Chase Romero going out. It looks like he may be on crutches over there, going into the huddle. But they got a lot of work to do, that's for sure. And they got to go see the #1 team in the state next week. So.
And the Roosevelt Rough Riders, well, you look at the numbers, Fort Morgan offensively just didn't have much. 66 yards of total offense. David Keller had 6 carries in the game for 7 yards. Then Trey Romero did have unofficially 6 carries for 28 yards. Not too bad for him. And Kevin, that might be the best way for them to run the offense, very similar to what Brush did when Griffith is into the gun. Just give him a running start because Romero seemed to excel off of that.
Right, and when you have the quarterback or whoever gets the direct snap run, that gives you an extra blocker up front. I think what Fort Morgan needs to do is figure out what sort of talent they have and build a system that's going to work around that talent. I think they're too much, just personally watching these 2 games, trying to stick to what system they want to run, and that system requires a good quarterback, and that sort of thing. I think the coaches are going to have to do some soul searching to figure out a way to give these kids some success.
66 yards of offense unofficially for Fort Morgan, and for Brush, 275. Talk about Ty Griffith tonight. Wow. He had 31 carries for 122 yards. And Tanner Ludgate, 12 for 90. I love that combination for Brush. You've got the game breaker, and you've got that battering ram, and that worked out really well tonight. Just those 2 guys, they made enough defensive plays, and when it was 9-7, then Fort Morgan committed another turnover. They had 4 in the game, and then Ty Griffith took it in from 3 yards out. Then Eric Rico, with just 7 seconds to go in the first half, had a 26-yard field goal. And then the one that put the game away, the 45-yard run by Tanner Ludgate in the 3rd quarter. The Mustangs did get a scoring pass from Trey Romero to Chase Redding from 10 yards out in a 4th down play, but too little too late. The Mustangs dropped to 0-2, and the B Diggers improved to 1-1. But as Brian said, Chase Romero being injured, they found their quarterback, and Trey Romero. J.J. Marquez did the best he could in this particular game, and he was given an opportunity. Of course, he's younger than Trey Romero, and sometimes just being a sophomore as opposed to a freshman helps you out a little bit because you might be a little bit more familiar. You're just not out of 8th grade. And Romero was pretty impressive tonight, even with some errant throws. So we'll be back at it next week. The B Diggers have the week off. They're back in action on 1010 KSIR 2 weeks from tonight. Tyler Carmen will have that call on KSIR in Yuma against the Indians. And we'll be back next week on B106 when the Mustangs take on the Roosevelt Rough Riders with kickoff at 7 o'clock. Well, Kurt Worth's birthday is next Friday, and Kevin's is tonight. So happy birthday to Kevin. Not a Mustang victory, but they certainly at least finished strong. The final score, once again tonight, for Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran from Larry Mills Field at B. Digger Stadium. Brush 26, Fort Morgan 14 on B106. B106.com and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.